On today's Poker Live podcast, me and Doug Polk will be discussing the Dan Bilzerian heads up on Twitch and the video he made for it that's taken the internet by storm. We'll also be discussing the 500K scam story, aka YayoGate, which is captivating the poker world right now. We'll be talking about Rekful playing some on Twitch, playing some PLO, of course. Be talking about the bot challenge currently taking place where the humans are getting fucking smashed because Doug isn't a part of things. Bang, bang. We're talking about Cate Hall versus Mike Dentale, the upcoming heads-up match that Doug will be commentating, the bankroll strategy, the bankroll challenge, YouTube strategy, and more today on the Poker Live podcast. What's going on, everybody? My name's Joey Ingerman, a.k.a. Chicago Joey, coming to you from cold WGTO Studios here in Chicago, a.k.a. just outside of Chicago in the suburbs, not technically Chicago. Calm down, everybody. Joining me on the podcast today is a young man who is everywhere in poker right now. He's being alleged to be being called by the mafia to not do interviews with people, even though he's never done an interview before in his entire life. He's been he's been everywhere on YouTube, putting out the poker hands. He inspired a great new series called PLO Hands that I've been doing for the Great Game of Pot Omaha, of course. He's been streaming on Twitch, on Periscope, on Snapchat, giving out the poker tip of the day. He's been on Instagram. I actually don't go on Instagram, so I don't know what he's doing on there right now. He's also, I know,
probably something.
I don't know what you're doing on Instagram. He's doing something on Instagram also. He's also on Facebook. I'm serious. I got to say what he's doing. I got to tell you guys what he's doing. Calm down. He's on Facebook Live, doing Facebook Live shit, whatever that happens on Facebook Live. I don't go on there as well, too. And I'm missing something, which seems incredible for all the things I just said. What am I missing? Oh, my God. Man. I can't even believe I missed Upswing Poker, which I like. Okay, which I know. Okay, Upswing Poker as well. We're joined by my buddy Doug Polk, Papi, aka WCG Riders in the house today. What's up, Doug? Welcome back to the podcast.
Thank you, by the way, for the epic intro. But also, the amount of stuff that's happened since we canceled Table Talk has been insane. It has just been like one thing after another. There's been a bunch of great stories. I mean, obviously, the headlining stories are the Bilzerian thing and the blackjack story. I mean, those are like by far the biggest, I would say. But then there's also like a nice mix of other stuff going on too. It's a lively time in the poker scene.
Yeah, we got like those 2 weeks. We had like literally me and Doug would go Table Talk. We'd go through different places and we're like, there was no like one thing like, hey, let's talk about this. Like, hey, let's talk about poker in Asia or something like that. So there was never like one thing that we could really discuss. And but yeah, I feel like now there's been so much happening now. So it's a good time to sort of get after it and talk about what's happening. So, but Doug, let's start with this top thing because I don't know what happened in this.
Which thing?
Okay, let's start with this thing that's happening with the blackjack story. So if you guys don't know, on 2+2, there's been this thing where Doug, just you want to give the recap on it? It's like crazy.
All right. So for those of you that have not checked out this blackjack story, I guess you just haven't had internet for the last 4 days or whatever. But basically, about 4 or 5 days ago on 2+2, someone came forward under the screen name on 2+2 I punt stacks, and they posted their story. And the cliff notes of the story are this. The hero is a degenerate player who in the past has had some money problems, maybe even some like scam deal problems, severe drug problem, obviously getting wasted a lot, ends up in an underground blackjack game with Zima and John Racer. Allegedly. This is what the post says, though, right? This is what the post says. So ends up in this game, swings happen, runs up like I don't know $5,000 or $10,000. Up to whatever, runs it down, then basically moves all in, down to his last 1,400, puts everything else on the line, and just bangs off blackjack or whatever, and then goes on to win $100,000 that session. Everything's good. Another session goes down, more drugs, more alcohol.
Allegedly.
Yayo in the background, 24/7 nonstop. Another session goes down, boom, plus 200K again. Third session goes down. By the way, at this point, like, still not worried about getting paid, I guess. Boom, plus 200K again. Plus $500,000 in blackjack over the span of what I believe was 1 or 2 weeks. A few sessions of play. And then when he goes to collect, he gets told, again, allegedly, I'm going to keep saying allegedly here, Joey. But it is his post, says that he goes to get paid and they won't give him the money. They say he cheated and that they're not going to be paying out the money. Since then, posting pics, posting videos, calling people out, lots of specific names, lots of screenshots, lots of this, lots of that. And so, you know, I guess, Joey, what do you think? What's your thoughts here? Because I've got my own thoughts here too. What do you think about what's going down here?
The part I'm most confused about is how we got somehow we're getting accused of the mafia is hitting us up and threatening us not to have him on the podcast. You and him talked about potentially doing something together. Now we're getting called the biggest scaredy cats of all time. We're getting called you guys are allegations against you guys is simple. I'm like, when the fuck did we get allegations about us from this happening? So I just want to say, listen, all right, no one called me up. Nobody threatened me. No one said I'm going to fucking kill you if you have Mark Klang on the podcast. I like Mark. I've talked to him for months. I've known about this personally for months. I've talked to both sides since it came out and before it came out. And no one said, don't have him on the podcast. I want to have him on the podcast. I would have him on the podcast. I just know this guy will answer anything. And plus, I like the fucking guy. I don't want to have him come on here talking about all these crazy shit that he fucking did. It's just, I mean, if he wants to do that, he can do it. I don't want to really enable that situation from happening, okay? I don't know. I feel like there's too many real world implications in addition to that I would just rather personally stay away from it and just not be involved.
Which is exactly what you would say if the mafia had come knocking on your door. It's exactly what you would say. Classic mafia cover-up.
So wait, Doug, the mafia did call you when you agreed, or did they not get in touch with you? I was unsure of your post on 2+2.
So yeah, I actually stepped into the thread and said, like, all right, first off, I did hit the guy up and I said that I would have him on as a guest on my YouTube channel. And I talked with some other people and I wasn't totally sure that it was the best move. I've never had a guest on before and I wanted to be careful with what I did. So I apologize in the thread. Like, I shouldn't have invited him and then not done it. You know, I made a mistake there. But the idea that, like, this is somehow like some massive scam cover up and like I'm in it with Zima, like, oh yeah, guys, I actually had 20% and like I was there. You know what I mean? Come on, like, give me a break. Like, I'm not involved in the story in any way, you know? In fact, when it came out, I posted on all my shit like, guys, this story is nuts. Check the story out. Why would I be doing that if like I like knew them and like it doesn't make sense to me. So I guess like I made a mistake, but like the whole like mafia cover up thing, and then you getting thrown under the bus made no sense. You came into the thread, you're like, I'm not going to be doing anything here, and then they're like, mafia.
They're like, Doug, you got to do it for the view. Doug loves the views. I'm like, well, okay, first of all, the point on YouTube is to get views. Like, you do things on YouTube to get views. Of course, Doug wants to get a lot of views. I mean, that's the fucking game, right? You don't play poker to lose money. You play poker to win money. They're saying in the thread, Doug loves the views. He should do this for sure. It's like, I mean, come on. You do. That's the name of the game. The name of the game is to get people to watch your stuff when you put it out there for people.
Yeah, but then there is a line. There's always a line, you know?
Like if you want to do anything story on the podcast.
What's up?
Like having this story on the channel.
I got to think it over. I want to be careful with what I choose to do. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so let's talk about this, Doug. You ever? I haven't heard of something like this happening before. And I mean, you and me been around for a long time in the poker world. I hear a lot of things. I haven't heard something this crazy where there's two well-known guys who you know, like, I mean, it's just and I've heard about this in the South Florida scene, like I said, for months now too. So this isn't some big secret. So there are allegations of some cheating happening. He had some sort of alleged device from I don't exactly know what happened with the device, but what do you think is really happening here with this situation?
Well, first off, the story is insane. And I like to comment, I forgot who made it, but someone said something along the lines of like, man, this story sounds like it happened in like 2006 or something, because It sounds like, you know, poker money flying around, like gambling happening. This does not sound like a 2017 story, right? It really doesn't.
Right. I think these stories are kept under wraps because, you know, South Florida, some weird shit happens there. LA, some weird stuff. And I know there's a lot of these private stuff. There's I hear a lot of the bookies happening, a lot of this gambling happening that's off the table. And I mean, I think in 2017, you're trying to make money any way you can in the poker world. So if you find some guy like Mark, you know, Mark kind of loves drugs. He loves yayo. All he knows is yayo.
Allegedly, he does lines in the video he posted.
Wait, he posted a video of himself doing cocaine.
I guess I saw cocaine in a video. I'm not sure if he actually did the line in it, but there was like some Snapchat. Did you not see the Snapchat video?
No, man, listen, I spent minimal time.
There's a video. He's snapping at the strip club. He's snapping lines on the table. He's just like snapping whatever, man. It's in that 2+2 thread somewhere.
Listen, all I know is people are messaging me on Facebook that I know aren't paying attention to poker anymore, saying, "Can you believe this fucking story? What's happening? Did you see these screenshots?" And I guess Mark, he saves an entire record of his phone, and he has every picture, every Snapchat, every video, every text message ever sent to him, and he's like posting all of this stuff for public information.
Man, it is really okay. So let's talk about like what actually went down, because from what I've seen, from his story, from the pics, from everything, it looks like this really did like happen. You know, like whether he cheated or not, we don't know. You know, we don't know exactly what the amount was. We don't really know who like specifically was involved and how much. We don't know like those kinds of things. But like the amount of like pictures and evidence that he's posted of stuff, really damning to the other parties.
For sure.
Like this happened in some capacity. So the question becomes like, you know, if you're these other people, first off, the only way that I could see in this scenario them not paying out and have it be a legitimate excuse is if they have concrete proof as to he cheated in some way. It cannot be you might have cheated and like, you know, you won a lot, so it's sketchy, and like, oh, this guy's a degen, so we can't pay him because he might not pay or some shit. No, there needs to be some concrete, this is why he didn't get paid. It needs to be a fact. It cannot just be you decided. You don't get to just decide if you pay someone $500K or not, you know? And for starters, and I love this because JMO tweeted like, hey, mate, looking for some action, like the bank of JMO is open or something like that. Here's the thing. If you want to operate this underground, you know, casino in Florida, like allegedly, whatever, we don't have to say allegedly. People know.
I don't know, man. Allegedly.
If you want to operate this,
you're saying he's operating underground casino. It's illegal.
I'm using the word if. I'm using the word if. If you want to operate an illegal underground gambling situation, at bare minimum, you have to pay your winners. At bare minimum, right? You have to pay your winners.
Makes sense, yeah.
Because otherwise, this shit's gonna happen. You can't just scam people for $500,000 and then to think that like, you know, if I'm in their shoes, right, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just stiff this guy and hope he doesn't go public. Like you have to realize if he decides to go public, things are really gonna fall apart for you, because this story, it has all of the factors that are really needed to like make people interested. You know, compelling story, a lot of money, gambling, the dark side of gambling, and then like all of these different, you know, some big-ish names. I wouldn't say any big names, but some like, you know, bigger names in the community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I just don't understand this guy. Now Mark's on every podcast. He's answering every question. I could ask if I had this guy on the podcast, I could ask him any question. I think he's going to answer it. I'm telling any question. I think he tried hooking me up with his daughter. I'm not kidding. He said, hey, I think he was, I said in 3 years, man, when she gets a legal age or something. She was watching PLO. I don't know what exactly is happening with that. Shout out to Mark. Hit me up in 3 years, buddy, or something like that. But I just don't know his motivation for answering all the questions. I guess, I mean, you know, maybe in a way he likes the spotlight. He likes to be out there. He wants to get his story out there. He wants to be, you know, sort of part of the community. And that makes sense. It definitely makes sense too.
Oh, I think, I mean, look, if you're in his shoes and you really don't care about the fact that people are going to know these things about you, or they already do within your circle, and you really don't mind that, then yeah, this is a good opportunity to not only potentially get paid back, get some spotlight, get, you know, some ability to like reach people, but at the same time, like, is this really how you want to do it? You know, I mean,
right.
This story could have been told without some of the aspects that I think made it so endearing to people. Like, was actually like the drug usage and the degeneracy. Like, I think in some way people, even though they know that they shouldn't like that, or they know that that's not how you're supposed to be, I think just like the blunt honesty of that made the story even more endearing to them. But at the same time, you probably should tell this version that doesn't include you like just doing lines of coke and like all this stuff in it, you know? You could tell the same story for the purpose without doing so much damage to your own, image, I think.
Yeah, that was kind of the part I'm a little bit confused on why you'd be so motivated to keep repeatedly sharing all of these things that don't necessarily make you. I mean, I guess you're just embracing it, right? It's just you're this kind of guy. You've made some mistakes in the past. You've been in some incidents where you might have been on the other side of the situation, and I kind of think that's. Yeah, I mean, maybe I don't know, man. I really wanted anxious to figure out what's happened, and obviously Zima, Racner, those other guys. I haven't heard anything from those guys. I haven't heard them post anything publicly. I said, hey Zima, like what's happening? Do you want to obviously maybe come on the pod or something like that? But they said no comment. They're speaking they obviously got lawyers, so they can't say things publicly. So I don't where does this go from here? I've never really seen something like this. What happens now? Is it go to court or what?
I don't even know. Like now, some other characters are coming out. Like this, heir to the star-kissed fortune, dude. See this post?
I know. Well, that's a post we talked about yesterday, right? We were chatting. Is this real?
Oh yeah. Sorry, yeah, we did chat about this yesterday. So yeah, that post, really WTF, and now it kind of seems like, man, if Mark ran up 200K worth of debt on that guy's phone, which again, I said this yesterday, how can you just run up 200K debt on just some app in Florida on your phone? But that's a different story. If he did that, now all of a sudden it starts to be like, okay, well, if he owed 200K, he kind of has to pay that, right?
Yeah, I mean,
if he did what that person alleges in that story, and he took their phone, gambled for 200K, again, this blows my mind, lost 200K, gave them their phone back, pretended it didn't happen.
Right.
I mean, and now it gets dicey because now it's one guy's word against the other guy's word, and oh man, it's just not a good situation.
So Tim says he wants to appear as honest as possible, so make sure his story is credible. If he just says he owed money, Zima can just say, what this degen drug? That's a good point. You do want to include a lot more details. I mean, it all seems made up. I gotta just be honest, Doug. It seems like this is too, just unreal. All these details, he's promoting this. I don't know if they're selling a book. Is it a movie? Is something happening? You got Zima, you got Racner. It all seems very, very unreal in a lot of ways.
You think the story is made up? Because the thing is, he has pics and videos and stuff.
Right. I mean, I guess it can't be then. It's obviously real. It's just a matter of did he cheat or not?
I'm not saying he has exact pics and videos of everything that happened. I'm just saying that he has pics and videos of certain instances that do go along with his story.
Yeah. I think the story's real, but it just shouldn't seem real. It doesn't seem like it should be real just with how much is into it. So what do you think we're going to see happen here with this? This go on. I mean, it's taken over the poker world. Everyone loves the thread. There's 400,000 views or something. I don't know, 300,000 views last time I checked in the thread. Everyone's talking about it. People are messaging me saying what's happening, what's going on with this. No, someone says Joey obviously friends with the scam. I'm not obviously friends with the fucking scammers, guys. All right. I'm not friends with anybody. I'm not good friends with anyone in the chat. I know a lot of people in poker. I know.
And I thought we were friends.
What do you say? You're friends?
I said, I thought we were friends, man.
Bang, bang. Why you say that?
You said you have no friends. I said, I'm right here.
No, I don't know. I said I have a lot of people I'm friends with in poker, friendly with in poker. I know, right. I know of most people in poker on some type of level. So of course I know them. I had Zima on the podcast before in terms of, are we hanging out? Are we going out? No, we're not going out. We're not hanging out. I'm friendly with them. I'm just friendly with a lot of other people I know. So it's not like anything where if this happened.
The real question, sorry, not to cut you off. The real question is what is Zima going to do now that this is out there? Because this is the kind of thing that if you don't figure out an effective way to respond, this will follow you for forever.
What's that one song? Been down in Africa. What's that one song, man? He's taking a plane, baby. Man. Yeah, he said, "Where's the country to go to? Where's Snowden at? Russia?"
Things we never had.
Exactly. Listen, man, Zima's out of here. He's gone. He's going someplace, man. Maybe I'm kidding. I don't know what he's gonna do, dude. What would you do if you're Zima?
It's tough because if you're Zima, you can't. And I posted this in the thread, by the way. And some tinfoil hats immediately came out. But I posted this in the thread. Like, if you're Zima, you're kind of put in like a really fucked situation, because if you say anything, because like, look, some illegal stuff happened.
Allegedly.
If the story is true, some illegal stuff happened. Okay. If the story that has evidence of being true is true, then you cannot really defend yourself, even if people would be like, okay, that makes sense why you didn't pay him. It would mean you're admitting to all of these other crimes. You can't do that. So essentially, like, there is like a version of this story where it makes perfect sense why I didn't get paid. The amount was different, whatever. The story is not true. You know, some aspects of it. And Zima's actually, I mean, I'm not going to say being reasonable, because there's no way, if like some of the facts around that story are true, that he's being reasonable, but at least being somewhat ethical in terms of paying the debt. There's a version of the story that we don't know that could be like that. So until we see what Zima wants to come forward and say, or if he's going to say anything, you have to at least take it with a little grain of salt that Zima has to play at least a little more defensive in this situation.
Right. And that's my stance on it right now, is that, all right, we've heard Mark's side. Okay. Well, there's definitely another side to the story. There's some reason why this hasn't been paid. There's something. I don't even know what it is. I want to know, and I'm excited to know, because, and yeah, you mentioned Zima. Really, what can he say? You know, he can't come out and say, I'm doing this, I'm running this this sports betting operation down in South Florida.
Good luck with that.
That seems like it's going to get you in a lot of trouble too. So, you know, I don't know if this goes to court next or what, but.
Well, I mean, I don't really know if this is the kind of thing that ends up going to court, really. I mean, like, who's going to sue who here?
Well, couldn't they be arrested for something? This is what I don't know. I don't know much about this stuff.
Yeah, I also don't know a lot about this, but like, if there's a video of someone doing lines, like, you don't know for sure it's coke, right?
True. That's alleged.
So can you really be like, oh, we're gonna put them in jail for doing this white substance on a video? You can't really do that.
Yeah. Going to court. Listen, guys, going to court is something, man. Come on. I'm not a professional. I don't know a couple of squares. I agree. We are. We're not well versed in this area of things, man. So if this was table talk, we'd be crucified in the thread for not being knowledgeable about the court system right now, Doug. You guys you didn't research the court system prior to this discussion? No, guys, we didn't. We didn't learn about how the U.S. justice system works before we talked about the subject. Calm down, please. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh. But all right, if you guys want to follow along with the story, I'm sure I'll be talking about it, make a video or something, or talk about it. Doug will be talking about it, I'm sure, too. You can follow the thread in 2+2. I'll put the link in the description if you're on YouTube, and we'll stay tuned and kind of see what's coming up with it. So have any last thoughts on that topic, Doug?
You know, I do think that it is good that this happened just for the poker community, because I do think that it gets people interested and brings people kind of a little more back into poker a bit. So I'm definitely glad that this happened. And I also think that, like, it's good when people get scammed to come forward and, like, say that, because it helps other people in the community know to kind of stay away from situations. So I can get behind what Mark has done here in the thread. I just think that the way he did it is also pretty damning for himself. And I probably would have chose a little bit of a different way of doing it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess in his situation, he was just pissed off he didn't get paid. You know, he loses a lot of money to these guys. He knowingly knows he's a mark in a lot of situations that he plays in, whether it's poker or gambling at the tables. So he finally wins. He wants to get paid. He doesn't get paid. They're accusing him of cheating. I can understand why you'd be upset, and you say, fuck it, man. Let's go out guns blazing in this situation.
That's fair. That's actually fair.
So, all right, let's go to this next subject. So, Doug, I just saw your recent video on Dan Bilzerian. Dan Bilzerian, you guys who don't know, he's been playing Heads Up Poker on Twitch on Bill Perkins' account, Gas Trader, on America's Card Room. We'll get to that as a whole entire thing.
Also great.
Right. He's been playing on his account, and he's been streaming it on Twitch. Doug made a video about it, talking about some hands and commenting on it. And I got to say, his play, Doug, not in line with one to have alleged have won $50 million.
Well, you know, okay, so I'll say this. You know, I obviously just did a video on YouTube about it. He did not play good. You know, clearly did not play good. But the thing is, what he's trying to claim is that he won all of his money off of people that are really bad. So it is potential. I mean, while it wasn't good, it could beat people that are just total donks playing poker for fun, you know?
Yeah, he seemed to have the terminology down. Like he seemed to say the terminology. I don't quite know if he actually understood the terminology, but he was saying some words that, you know, like it's like the standard 2017 words you use. You want to sound smart talking about poker. So he was saying some words, and I'm like, oh, okay. But yeah, some of the plays. I mean, I don't know. It's probably tough to take it super serious if you're used to gambling for super high stakes. You're playing 10-20. You know, I can understand you want to fuck around, you want to have a good time, and you want to make some crazy plays, and you might come off looking a certain type of way, but you know, just deal with it, whatever. Who gives a fuck? What does it matter? His life, he's still hanging out in the Hollywood Hills, all the models, all the naked girls, they're sex, all this stuff, still all happening. So I can understand his reluctance to take it super seriously. And he's also playing one of the best players in the world.
Yeah, he's playing a good player.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. What was your kind of overall kind of fake, kind of like recap what your point was in the video?
Obviously, he's not going to play 10-20 super seriously because like the money is just like really whatever. So I understand where he's coming from with that. Obviously, like to some extent, when you see him play in these situations, like he's obviously not trying his full A game. I get that, but there's a lot of like kind of basic errors going on, like real simple, just like pre-flop decisions that should be one way or another, you know? I don't know what to say because the thing is this.
No, if you said on the Rogan podcast, he got his and the screen name. I don't know. Is this known? It's 40 and 7. That's his PokerStars screen name. That's Sex and Whiskey on Twitch or on ICR rather. I don't know. He's from Belarus. I don't know if that's known or not. But so he said on the Rogan podcast, he got to start playing online poker back in the day. So we can assume he probably got some decent fundamentals down to multi-table.
Yeah, I mean, the story of like this is a 10, 20, 50, $100 bankroll being run up is just total bullshit, obviously. I mean, there's no fundamentals here. There's no discipline. I mean, the fortune that was amassed with how quick it was amassed is just like insane. Like he's trying to make it out like he is the biggest poker winner of all time by a ton. And you know what? Maybe he's won a lot in poker, Joey. Maybe he did play some online poker back in the day. And maybe he has won a lot in poker by being into good games. But the idea that his bankroll didn't in some part come from his family is just nuts.
By the way, totally nuts. I have it on one of the most credible people that I would consider in the poker world that he's definitely made a lot of money in the Los Angeles live games too. Like someone I would say the things he's told me before have been accurate. So, and someone who's active in that scene or has been active in that scene in the past. So shout out to him, by the way. But yeah, so he said that this is kind of an actual thing. And I think, as you mentioned, the debate is, and that's what got picked up. There's a story on the Lad Bible. They said some guy exposes Dan Bilzerian. And I was like, what a fucking great title. Those guys are GTO with those titles, Doug. We got to study Lad Bible. But so they said that they quote your post in there. You say he's accused Dan Bilzerian of being a fraud. He's accused Dan Bilzerian. Those guys are good. We really got to read their stuff. He made a video exposing Dan Bilzerian. How do you feel about that? That could get picked up on like a massive scale at this point, I feel like.
I mean, like, man, it already, like, just that post, my channel on YouTube has broken every record I've ever had for traffic. Like, not even close.
Really?
Like, I think my most in an hour before was like 10,000 or 11,000 views, and I got like 25,000 views like 4 hours ago when they posted that story. So it is insane.
That's gonna get picked up on everything. I feel like this is like the start. There's like this reputable guy in poker has called this guy out and said he didn't make his money from poker. Look at him play.
Well, the thing is, I feel like I'm being a little misquoted. All I'm saying is that he doesn't play very good. You know, like, I mean, did he make his money? Okay, so I did a little bit in the start of that video. I'm like, look, you guys kind of put the facts together here. He was supposed to pay 60 million, didn't. Son has a lot of money. You guys decide. I didn't actually say like this is a lie. I just like put the pieces. And you know what? To be honest, Joey, everything I said was true. And there was nothing in that video that wasn't true. Right. I gave a fair assessment of the facts. I gave a fair assessment of the play. I threw some jokes in. Like, that's what the video was about, you know?
Look at this title. YouTuber exposes Dan Bilzerian's life as one big lie. What a title that is. God damn, man. It's not really true also. He didn't expose his life as one big lie. It's like,
in fact,
just watched him play poker.
Joey, in the title, it says, quote, one big lie. That's not even a direct quote.
Now you know how PewDiePie feels when he gets misquoted by the media, man.
I didn't even say one big lie.
I know. I don't know.
Or quote, big fake who's shit at poker.
How do you feel about it, Doug? Like I said, how do you feel about this misquoting thing here?
I mean, look, like, here's the thing. In this instance, I'm fine with it because it's bringing some more life into poker, and, like, I'll take the coverage. But, and also in this situation, like, it's not, like, that big of a deal because he probably is a fake. I mean, really didn't get his money from this. And like, realistically, that's probably the truth. But yeah, when you try to get directly misquoted for, like, mass media, like, coverage, it can get dangerous, man.
That's what I'm saying. I know. It's dangerous. I'm like, this is like, I don't know what happened. We're in uncharted territory. We haven't been in the fucking lab. We haven't been running sims in this situation. I don't like know what could happen. It seems I don't want to get misquoted being like, Joe Ingram said this guy is a fucking fraud and something. Like, I didn't say that. Okay. I mean,
look, sometimes something happens and, like, the media just takes it and they turn it into Jason Mercier being a bad reg, you know? Sometimes that just happens. The story can easily spiral out of control.
You did say that, though.
Okay, but the way that it actually went down is very different than, like, the way it ended up being portrayed. I had a labeling system on all regs, and they were color-coded, and someone said, what does blue mean? And I said bad reg, and Jason Mercier was on my screen. He was labeled blue.
True.
That's a little different than, like, Doug called Jason Mercier a bad reg. It's just like, okay, it's my labeling. I mean, whatever.
That's true. MC in the chat says, MC said these dudes definitely bang each other. You can tell. Listen, man, no one if I'm gonna bang somebody, man, I'm glad it's Doug, man. You could do worse, right? You could do worse. I could be banging fucking, I don't want to say any name, whatever.
Let's move on.
Doug, let me ask you this question, okay?
All right.
What's up with Bilzerian playing on Perkins' account on stream? Is this okay on ACR, on WPN? You can play. I can have you play on Chicago Joey. You can just play on my account. Is that sort of how it works on there, or what's up with that?
I mean, it's tough. I mean, like, realistically, ACR should shut down the account, right? I mean, kind of no-brainer.
Realistically, they should shut down their website, Doug. I mean, you know what I mean?
Very good point. Very good follow-up point.
Realistically, they shouldn't be operating in the United States to offering their service to American customers. So
that was a phenomenal counter. I don't exactly know what to say to that.
So I guess the thing is, right? Like, if they can do it, why can't anyone? Like, why can't you play on Gas Trader? Like, why wouldn't you purchase Gas Trader tomorrow and play on Gas Trader account? It just, you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I guess, like, the thing about ACR is, like, man, sometimes it's just like the Wild West, you know? Like, their rules can be a little like, okay, so when I first started playing on ACR, I deposited some money, and I can't remember if I won a little bit or lost a little bit. I want to say I won a little bit because it's even more ridiculous. And my account got shut down after a week or two. This is like 4 or 5 years ago. And my account got shut down after a week or two. And I was told my account got shut down for chip dumping. Okay. Now, the most I had lost to any person was $1,000. All right. $1,000.
Okay.
So they told me I chip dumped and that they knew, and my account was shut down. And I said, I didn't chip dump. Like, let's go through the hands, look at the logs or whatever. And they say, no, we know you did. You're banned. I was like, all right, let me get the manager. Manager comes on the phone. Here's the thing. We know what you did, so we're not going to discuss it because we know you chip dumped. I was banned for a year and a half. I made a thread in 2+2 about it. I was just straight banned. And then eventually I got into contact with some people through a connection that, like, knew some people, and I got it unbanned. But only because I knew people, not because of, like, I could do it through the system. They just banned me.
Wow.
Yeah, just straight up. So, I mean, obviously things are a little more dicey. And here's the thing, though, Joey, because as someone that has played and won a lot of money on ACR, they've always paid me out. So I don't want to say, like, anything too negative. They have managed to run, like, honestly, like, a pretty good site, all things considered.
I agree.
Reasonable volume, reasonable rake, They're doing stuff for poker. So, I mean, I don't want to like be too mean to them because they, they have done some good things. But at the same time, it is in that gray area where it's hard to know if they're going to treat you completely fairly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They've always been good to me when I played on the site, and they seem to always pay out players. I haven't heard anything of them not paying out someone or taking money or anything like that. And they do offer things someone for Americans to play. So I don't know. I think they should keep playing on the site. I don't think they should let them. I don't think they should shut down the account. I think the account should be able to keep going on.
You know what? This actually brings up a much broader question. I think that, excuse me, I think that in general, it's a bad idea for sites to have rules they can't enforce. And so I think that every site should just allow multi-accounting. Excuse me.
Wow, it's a hard take right there.
Well, I mean, given that it's currently not allowed, I'm not going to do it. But let's just think about this rationally. You cannot really verify who's on account at a given time. You can't really. So why make a rule you can't enforce? Like in Heads Up No Limit, when you played high stakes, you played knowing there's a chance you're getting someone else. There's always a chance. You just can't guarantee, right? So you know that risk going in. And so you play knowing that risk. I just don't see why you can't just make it anyone's allowed in any account.
I mean, it makes sense, right? I mean, it makes sense. I don't think anyone's really tried it. I mean, Ignition, basically, that's how it works, is anyone can play on the account, but it's because it's anonymous. So, and then some of the other sites, you can change your screen names at a decent frequency, I believe, some of the untracked Euro sites, and maybe some site, I mean, I don't know. Maybe some sites legally allow that. I don't know. Does that exist now?
I have no idea, man. I have no idea.
I mean, America's Cardroom allows it.
A lot, well, clearly.
Yeah. So
I guess like the thing is just, I understand for the need for some rules that are going to be hard to enforce sometimes, but I feel like multi-accounting is just, the whole idea that you're going to be able to see someone's account, get reads, take notes, whatever, and then those are always going to apply to that account. You just can't count on that.
Yeah. I agree.
I think it's very good for poker, though, by the way, to have Bilzerian streaming, playing on ACR. That's amazing.
I think it's obviously amazing for poker. I think we've had a lot of really amazing things happen for poker recently with Bilzerian streaming, with this 500K story. I mean, it's not like, I guess what would we consider good for poker? Where it gets publicity, or where people come and watch it, or where people are paying attention to the poker world? What do you consider good for poker?
I think anytime that you get a large casual group of people that are not normally part of the poker world to take note of poker and get involved, I think that it's good for the game, and I think it's good for the community because it creates growth. It gets more people involved, more views, more deposits, more people trying to play poker, better games. I mean, it's just good for the game. The more people that are involved in poker, like imagine if 1 million new people just found poker and got into it right now. That would be great, right?
I agree, but then it's kind of like, well, where do they go play? That's the kind of unfortunate situation. Is the place to go play for Americans? It's kind of that little gray area. So that's why it's like kind of tough for Americans to find poker now and then even start to play. It's just tough. For sure.
One thing that I thought was really interesting was when I look at my YouTube demographics and I can see by age who's watching the channel, right? Well, I remember when I was coming up in poker, there were tons of kids around the age of 18. When I started, who were 18 through 21, getting into poker, like people under 18, like there was a big, large group of people. And now when I look at my demographics on YouTube, it's like the main group of people watching me, and this makes sense, are people that are the ages of 25 to 34. Nothing wrong with that. I'm 28, makes sense. But what I'm seeing is I'm getting very few of those people in the 18 to 21 range, like back in the day. And I kind of feel like young people in America, specifically America, are not going to get into poker in the same way. They're just not going to. So it's kind of like the overall demographic is just going to keep getting older for poker players.
Doug, what a great segue. I mean, this isn't a purpose segue, and this isn't even a topic, but you do know why. That's sort of why. I mean, I feel like this is why PokerStars is doing what they're doing, is that they're creating these new games to appeal to this demographic specifically. These new guys who've come up on these fast games, these crack games, these fucking ADD Adderall type games. I think that's what PokerStars is really trying to do, trying to appeal to that demographic, which makes up a large percentage of the world right now, as compared to people who want these in-depth games of skill. And I think that's really why they've gone that direction they've gone. They've sort of see this same demographic. They see it going the way it's going. Now, whether they need to rake so much fucking money is another debate. But it seems like that's why Stars is deciding to do something like this.
Another article just got posted on The Sun. Poker expert Dan Bilzerian is living a lie.
No fucking way. Are you joking me right now? Isn't The Sun a big site?
Unbelievable. I don't know, man. I really don't know.
Can somebody link this for me, please, in the chat?
Quote, living a lie. Man, this story, if
I'm telling you, this is not going away. This is gonna I'll bet you this is on TMZ.
You'll bet me this is gonna be on TMZ.
I bet this will be on TMZ.
Yeah, you can leave it here. That's fine. All right. I mean, if you think so, man, I'll believe you.
He says the Sun is huge. People say the Sun's massive in UK. Okay, yes, I will bet. I'm serious, man. That's
I guess
huge.
we'll see.
The people in the UK, shout out to my UK brothers out there. Yeah, they're yeah, I think it's like Daily Mail. So if it gets on Daily Mail, which I'm pretty sure it'll get on Daily Mail, that means it'll get on Snapchat Story. That means it'll get picked. It's gonna get picked up for sure by American sites.
All right. Nice.
You should put out a video. I'd like put out a video now and like maybe give them something, send them somewhere when they come to the site. Where could you send them to?
Send them to what site?
Well, when they come to your video, they're gonna come check out the video and check you out. Maybe you need a CTA where they can go someplace like after the video to watch. Just tell them what poker's about. Like, this is poker. I don't know.
Yeah. I'll think it over. Gotta think of some shit. I'm really just shocked that this even happened, really. I was like, oh, this would be a good video idea. Dan Bilzerian playing poker. I'll make a vid about it. Didn't really expect to get that kind of reaction, you know?
We've been trying to figure this out, right?
I've been
thinking about this a little bit.
You know what? I'm going to give you credit. You were the one always thinking about this.
Well, I mean, I always try to think, like, what could cross over?
We need to find something that can go big outside of poker, like really go big, you know?
Yeah, that's what that's kind of what I don't know. I've been trying to figure out something. I mean, like, what could be created that could go big outside of poker? Like, it's got to be something with Bilzerian in it, or someone like well-known mainstream sort of thing.
I mean, it has to. It has to.
They called him Dan Polk. They did not call him Dan Polk. Please stop it right now. Dan Polk Premium. No, stop it. They did not call him Dan Polk.
Please, no. No, they called me Dan Polk.
Are you fucking joking?
Oh my god.
Oh my god. How big time. Oh my god.
Oh god damn it. I'm not Dan Polk.
Why did they call you Dan Polk?
There's already enough Dans in the poker world. We don't need Dan Polk.
Holy fucking shit. Why did they call you Dan Polk? This is unreal. We are seeing this live. They called Doug Dan Polk.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Oh my god. All right, Dan, how do you feel about this?
Well, I mean, I feel worse now. They're doing such a bad job of quoting me. They didn't even get my name right.
Dan, your name on YouTube is Doug Polk.
I don't know what to say.
Your name is, but a shock new theory claims the social media personality could be living a lie. Bilzerian, who courts admirers with his muscular physique and signature beard, has previously revealed that he made his millions playing high-stakes cards game, but a poker analyst has torn into Dan's talents at the table with a brutal examination of how he plays. Dare I say? GTO? No, probably not GTO. Wow.
I just tweeted at them to try and get this fixed.
Yeah, please say his name's Doug Polk. Guys, come on. Well, this is interesting. It's kind of happening right now, so...
All right. Well, we don't want to focus too much on this. I think that it's pretty interesting to see where it'll go. Obviously, I hope the story gets big. Obviously, I hope that my name doesn't get quoted as Dan Polk. And I hope that there's not too much. I mean, this is already just getting insane. So I guess we'll see what happens.
I'm gonna make a video investigating this. One of my investigation videos, investigating Doug Polk's claim about Dan Bilzerian. Do you think Dan's gonna be upset about this?
I mean, can he really get that upset? Like, people have been saying this the whole time, right?
They pretty much have, yeah. I mean, Perkins would even laughed about your video. He liked your video a lot.
Yeah, he retweeted it. Yeah, that was sweet.
He liked the video too. Even
I
laughed.
thought it was a good video. There were some funny parts. It wasn't bad.
I thought it was a great video. I liked it. It was funny. You weren't like, I don't think you were. I mean, I guess you weren't hard on the guy. You know, I don't know.
My favorite bit was the Jeff Gross call. That was so funny.
So what? I tried finding this in the video. I couldn't find this. What's this? What's this Jeff Gross called thing?
He calls them in the middle of the session, and Bilzerian clicks decline, and it just shows a sad picture of like a sad video clip of Jeff Gross with some like, it's in like the middle of the video. It's good. It's hard to do it justice just explaining it.
Sheesh. Well, poor Jeff Gross, I guess. So I guess, do you think Perkins gonna be streaming more on Twitch? It seems like he's pretty excited to keep playing.
You know what? Okay, so let's talk about Bill Perkins a little bit, because I think this is a subject that's interesting in its own right. It's kind of interesting to me how Bill Perkins has gotten so into streaming and, you know, promoting his brand and like being a part of like the Twitch community. Like, doesn't it surprise? I mean, he's given away hundreds of thousands of dollars on his stream. Just
right.
They're
doing a stream house in the Virgin Islands. I think it's quite the combination here. Dan Bilzerian, I'm sorry, not Dan Bilzerian. He'll probably go there too. Bill Perkins, Jeff Gross, Jamie Staples, Kevin Martin, and Little Stapler, man. They're all going to be down there. And they're giving away some giveaway where they're going to have someone come to the stream house. Someone from the stream is going to win a trip to the stream house in the Virgin Islands.
Which could get super weird, by the way. Here's some random dude. He's just going to be dropped into the house. Right?
I mean, yeah, I guess Perkins, I think he just likes helping people out, really. He talked about why he does prop bets, and he talks about why, I think he just likes helping people out, honestly. I think he wants to give away. I think he wants to help people's lives out. He wants to change their lives and give them an experience that they might not forget. I think that's just honestly what he's motivated. He's had a lot of success. He enjoys his life. He just
super cool. But I guess the question is, why has it not gotten more traction? Like, he'll be streaming and just giving away like 10K packages and like have like a few hundred people.
I have no idea. I don't know why. I don't know why it doesn't get picked up somewhere, but I'm not sure exactly where it could be. You know, like what would pick it up? In terms of?
I guess like you know, let's just say that someone on Twitch, you know, let's just assume they're a video gamer, was giving away $10,000 every few hours. I have to imagine, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe I don't understand Twitch well enough, but I have to imagine people be like, "Holy shit! I don't care what game they're playing, I'm in there." Right? If people knew.
Yeah, I didn't think about it really. I mean, I think in poker, it could be getting way more coverage in a lot of different ways. I mean, the guy's giving away a massive amount of money. He gave away 21 PCA packages. I had a couple of the guys, or a couple of people that won, GG Fab, Jimmy Bluffett on Twitch. My buddy Panda, Bruno, I had him on just talk to him for about 10 minutes. I mean, these are regular people. Bruno's fighting cancer. Gigi's a mom with 2 kids, never gets to travel without her kids. Jimmy Bluffett, hardcore, and all the fucking Twitch. Now it's on Bro Bible too. No fucking way, man. It just got posted on Bro Bible. The story. Bro Bible? It's like this. Now that's American site.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be on a Barstool too, by the way. But yeah. So he's giving away packages to these regular people, regular guys, regular women, and giving them an experience to go to the Bahamas PCA that they probably would never been able to do without it.
No, I think that's really cool, man. I'm a big fan of what he's doing. It's just such an interesting decision. Like, you're worth millions and millions of dollars, and then you go like this direction. It's just kind of funny to me.
Yeah,
it's cool. It's really cool. I just like, dude, he was streaming on his yacht. Like, just that sentence, he was streaming Twitch on his yacht.
Yeah,
that's just nuts.
I guess it just.
How many people in the lifetime of Twitch have streamed on a yacht?
I'm going to ask, I need to ask someone from Twitch that. That's actually a great question. Can somebody please find that out? How many people have streamed on a yacht on Twitch while they're playing something? Please.
I was watching the session where him and Ike were both at a 5100 table, and they were both streaming. And Bill Perkins disconnected. And Ike just says, like, "Hope you're not going through stormy seas there, Bill," or something like that. And I just couldn't help myself but laugh. That was just so good.
Yeah. Polk runs a poker tutorial account on YouTube.
That's, I mean, kind of true. That's pretty true.
I guess that's kind of true. Man, shit. There's so many, man, that's some crazy. I didn't, okay. Well, we'll see what happens here, boys. We'll see what happens here. So it should be interesting. Definitely be interesting. How you feeling right now? You feeling good?
I'm feeling good, but I also, like, this is just a blatant misquote of me again. Popular poker analyst, like I'm not, no, I'm kidding. Popular poker analyst says Dan Bilzerian is a big fraud.
I know.
Like, this is just blatantly not what I'm saying anymore.
Yeah, this is fun. We need to somehow get the 500K story in this. Can we get that to cross over too? Maybe at some point they'll just start picking up these. I feel like the 500K story should get picked up someplace too, right? That's it, on Deadspin or something. The airport scammer guy story was on Deadspin. I don't know why this wouldn't be on something like that, where these more mainstream people would want to cover this sort of thing.
It's weird because it feels like the poker area of like news is just like so separated from a lot of the other mainstream areas. It's just it's like its own world. And maybe it's something to do with like gambling. I don't know. Maybe gambling just doesn't make its way into the same like mainstream areas. But it does seem like some of these stories should be more notable than they end up being.
For sure. For sure. I think this is a great example. The 500K and the Dan Bilzerian thing. I mean, the bot challenge was on 538 today, by the way, too. So that's getting some more mainstream coverage. 538 is another big site from Nate Silver, who's a popular guy in America. I think he played some poker before, too. So
yeah, 538.
Yeah, it does seem like some of these things are getting more picked up, and maybe it sets a trend. Maybe it starts a precedent where maybe some of these things get picked up a little bit more from mainstream news sources. I don't see why not. They're looking for content. They want entertaining stories. These stories are fucking entertaining. So
yeah, for sure.
Oh man, we'll see. We'll see what happens here. Wait, anything else you want to add about that part of things?
No, I think we pretty much covered it. Maybe we should move on to a different topic.
Bot challenge.
Let's talk about the bot challenge.
All right. So Doug, why aren't you playing the bot? Why haven't they tagged you in yet?
Okay. So I want to just clear things up because I've been getting like every day people ask me, why did you not go play the bot challenge? Okay. And look, I played it 2 years ago. I was playing way more heads up no limit, aka I was playing a lot of heads up no limit. I barely play these days. I'm doing so many other things, can't play from Mid-America. At that point in time, it was really important for me to know where bots were at. Because when you're playing nosebleeds, you want to know if bots are going to be able to beat you or not, right? When you're playing for a lot of money, you want to know, can a computer beat me? So I played it. I did not realize going into it what a grind it was going to be. It was insane. I basically was just going nuts. It was 13 days out of 14 days in a row, 10 hours a day grinding against a computer. And look, I've gone through stretches like that playing poker, not much in my life, but I've done it. But against a robot on that interface, when it's just tanking and stuff, I couldn't take it, man. It was seriously driving me insane. So it was one of the toughest things I ever had to do. We did win. I was proud of that. But when they came back around for round 2, and they were like, oh, we're doubling the prize pool. And I'm like, okay, so 50K equity, 3 weeks instead of 2 weeks. Do I want to do this again for $230 an hour in equity? And that will be, taxed, obviously. So the answer is just no. It's just not worth my time. I'd have to stop YouTube. I'd have to stop Twitch. I'd have to stop doing all this other stuff that I'm working on. I'd have to stop making Upswing content. I'd have to grind 10 hours a day against this computer again for a week longer with not that 1 day off. Like, I just couldn't. The money is just not worth it to me.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And I know right now it's who's playing? Jason Less, Big Dick Donger Kim playing in it. Jim, who else playing? Who are the other guys? The real names? I know they're online names. I don't know their real names.
For the Swarm, and Daniel McCauley, Dougie Dan.
Okay, so Dougie Dan for the Swarm, Big Dick, and Jason Less. So right now it looks like they're getting beat down pretty bad by this bot.
Crushed. And it's sad because up until 2 days ago, they had almost gotten the lead down to even. They lost a lot out of the gate, almost down to even. And then the wheels just really fell off the wagon a couple days ago. 2 straight days getting crushed. What's weird to me is how much the bot is changing. It's changing a lot. And I don't just mean like in its frequencies and hands showing down. Like its strategy just like straight up, like 5 days in, it was doing limping, min raising, 2.5xing, and 3xing. And then all of a sudden, it was playing 2.5x or fold.
Huh.
Like, what happened there?
So it on the fly just randomly started doing that.
Day 6, it just started doing that. Day 5, whatever.
That's
obviously, they must have realized I don't know exactly know what's going on. Maybe they thought that there was too much going on in the game tree and they wanted to make it smaller by just using 1 raise size. That could be it.
Do you think there's anything maybe going on? Because obviously they program this stuff. They're sort of running it. Do you think there's anything nefarious happening behind the scenes here with this?
Someone just made the Twitter account Dan Polk Poker and is tweeting at me. God damn it.
Bang, bang.
Anyway, sorry. I think clearly there's some degree of human interaction going on. I mean, obviously, like, there's no way that, like, in one night the bot came to the conclusion of, I should only raise 2.5x, right? Like, a person chose that.
Yeah,
the question is, we don't really know how much human interaction is going on there. We don't really know that.
So my theory was that the humans were losing on purpose, therefore not to allow the bot to get so good. And I mean, could that be I don't know. You have more information, so I mean, I know you're not going to say it if true, but could that ever be the case where maybe if the bot might get too much information, he gets too good, and then that could be really bad for poker? I mean, I don't know if.
I think the human's goal, anytime you play, I mean, I played in it, your goal is to win, man. Like, you're there to try and win. You want to represent humanity. You want to beat this thing for sure. But I've looked at, some of the hands and talked with the guys, and I think that the bot this time around is legit. Like, 2 years ago, it had some glaring weaknesses. I mean, they didn't know about card removal, which, like, I mean, yeah. Obviously that's a pretty huge mistake. So now that they know that, and it's like so much more advanced, like, it's playing really good, solid poker all over the place. It's tough. The bot is actually, like, I saw this bot, and I just saw the raw frequencies and stuff. I would say this is a tough opponent. It does some things that are a little weird, does some different bet sizes, like, but this is no longer, like, let's just say, I think this is really unlikely, but let's just say the humans come back a bunch. I'm not saying it's impossible. I think it's unlikely. I still just don't know, because, like, you don't know if it's going to even get better through this challenge. Like, I think the humans are pretty toast, man. I'm not saying dead, but, like, pretty not in a good spot.
Wow. So do you think this is a bad sign for, I guess, poker in general? I mean, if bots now are beating if a bot is now debatably the best heads-up no-one player in the world, that seems to be a bad thing, because it's at some point that means then that's going to be a public bot. That's going to be a bot that people can then use on the internet. They're going to make that bot better. And that seems like it could be a big issue at some point in time.
It's definitely not good for the game, but there are some angles here that I think are positive. Like, first off, the ability for people, if they want to get better, they can learn. And second off, like, there's always going to be situations, particularly in live poker or the end of a tournament or whatever, there's always going to be situations where knowing how to play heads up is going to help you, right? And they're not going to have a bot. So I don't think it's good. And I think it's definitely going to be very bad for the state of high stakes heads up, But at the same time, I don't think that this is really that bad for poker, because there's so many multi-handed formats, and there's also live heads up variants, and there's also all these different games. You know what I think would really make poker a lot better? If people were more willing to take up new games that come out. Because the problem is everyone's like, oh, Texas Hold'em, I'm all in, If they were, like, able to embrace 4-card PLO, 5-card PLO.
Whoa. Wait, so you're saying if people are able to embrace the great game of Pot Limit Omaha, Doug?
Yes. Yes, that would be better, right?
Only there's a place for them to go watch some PLO Kerr hands on YouTube.
Okay, all right, I get it. I know. PLO's a big game.
Jomaha.
Joey, here's the thing. 90% of people playing poker these days want to play No Limit Hold'em. They do.
True.
So if people were more willing to move into other games, it would decrease the strength of bots, because the games would be changing a lot. I think I saw something posted by Ben Solsky on the forums where he said that really, especially high stakes games, they should just, like, make up a new game, like game formats all the time, and just have new ones constantly. And then people would have a chance. People would have a chance, because the way it is right now, Joey, if you want to be good at heads up PLO or heads up no limit, or really any heads up game at the highest stakes, it takes hundreds or thousands of hours of studying.
Right.
And if you don't do it, you're just not going to, you're going to have no chance. I mean, at PLO, you always have a chance, but you're going to have no chance, You're going to have no chance.
You always got a chance in PLO. Equities run so close together pre-flop, Doug.
They do.
It's a great game. Enjoy the action. Shout out to Tom Dwan. Shout out to Save Tom. # Save Tom.
Hashtag Save Dave.
#Save Dave.
Save Dan. Save Dan. Sorry, Save Dan.
Save Dan. I can't believe it, man. Dan Polk. Dan Polk, Doug Polk's Doug Polk's twin brother, Dan Polk. Maybe that's a new alter ego you can make up. Dan Polk. Dan's the investigative reporter with the glasses. He's got the Ike Hollywood Hacks, the glasses on. He makes up these exposés about celebrities in the world.
Oh, God.
What do you think about this the PCA stuff down there, man? There were some popular people down there. Kevin Hart was playing down there. And I think Richard Seymour, there, the football player, former Patriot, they were promoting that on Twitter. What do you think about those big names coming out to the PCA event down there?
Well, I mean, you normally get some degree of like Hollywood people to go to these events. I mean, Aaron Paul likes to play some of these.
He went there too. I think he was spotted there. He didn't play the 100K. Kevin Hart played the 100K.
Kevin Hart just balls too hard. He's making too many movies, man. That guy has a new movie every like 3 or 4 months.
He's a sick grinder.
I mean, it's great. That's great for poker. It gives it some more mass appeal. Good to get like those types of people involved. It's great for those events. I'm sure that many people played the 100K that might have considered not playing the 100K. I mean, it's awesome. It's obviously awesome.
Yeah, I like it. And I do know that Kevin Hart, a fan of the great game of Pot Limit Omaha, Doug, known to play some high stakes cash games where PLO may or may not be involved. So it's not like this is his first time on the scene. I don't know if people know he's been playing poker for a little bit of time now. So I think it's nice. It's fun to see someone like that embrace poker and not be scared about it, not be scared to be what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. I'm looking for what I got. I don't got the word in me. But I know a lot of people out there, a lot of celebrities, they don't want to be associated with poker. They don't want to be known for poker. The Ben Affleck, Tobey Maguire, those sort of stories. So, it makes a lot of sense. There's a Molly's Game, that movie about the thing in New York City that's coming out this year at some point in time, right?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's going to be a movie with the Molly Bloom, all the underground games in New York. I don't know. Maybe that might have some sort of boom for poker in some degree, but I do know that's going to come out. So I feel like 2017 starting off pretty big, could be a pretty big year for the game.
Starting off hot, man.
I know, man. Are you excited for this upcoming Heads Up Challenge? You're going to be doing some poker commentating for the Cate Hall versus Mike Dentale Heads Up for Roll Showdown in March in Pittsburgh. Are you excited for that?
I think it's going to be in Philadelphia.
Close enough. Bang, bang. Close enough.
Whatever. Same thing. Anyway, so yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be interesting to see like what kind of interest it gets from the community. I mean, frankly, when that thing started on Twitter, I was just reading the tweets and I was like, is this real life with 2 actual people? Because the things that they were saying were just frankly like just totally out of line and downright childish at some points from both sides. Like Cate Hall repeatedly calling him a bitch, and then like some of this like the blatant just like I don't exactly know what the word I would use for how he was treating her, but just like how like rude he was just being to her. Like between them was kind of stunning,
Yeah, I was shocked.
They were going fucking 5th grade on Twitter.
Right. Like razor blades in the vaginas and crackhead, bitches, sluts, whore. I did a video about it, and I didn't actually read all the tweets, and I started reading the tweets, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. Like, I don't want to read it. I don't want to consume any more of these. It was, I don't know. I had them both in the podcast, though. I talked with Mike. I got to say, Doug, kind of liked him. I mean, I don't know. I don't agree with what he's saying. I'm not condoning what he's saying to other people. I don't see, I wouldn't say things like that. I don't, and he, I've said it to him. I said, why are you saying things like this? But I don't hate the guy. I thought,
I'm trying to stay pretty neutral here because I'm going to commentate it, and I don't really want to pick sides, But I will say it does seem like Mike was way more out of line all in all. Like he did kind of like start it, and like there's been some other instances where like there was that hand where he got bluffed by Samantha, and then basically blamed some other people for why he folded or something. And I mean, there's just. I think that both of them got like out of line at some points, and so it makes for a good match, man. Like honestly, it's going to be entertaining.
I think so.
All right, so let's just say you were one of them, right? And you get to the table, you sit down, you get dealt into your first hand, and you're staring across, and it's that person. Do you feel at all awkward and a little embarrassed about everything that you said on the internet?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, which shoes do I want me to put myself in? Kate's shoes or Mike Dentale's shoes? You let me know which one you want me to be.
Either one, your pick, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't fucking know, man. It's just I had Kate on the podcast yesterday, and I kind of felt like she was gonna say what it took to make sure he didn't back out of the match and that the match would go down. I think she was worried about that, and she said she was going to appeal. He's going to treat him like call him these woman names. He wouldn't like being called a woman, and then he would actually go through with the match. So, maybe Cate's was a little bit of strategy mixed with a little bit of deviancy mixed with a little bit of who fuck knows what. But I definitely, it makes sense. I can understand. She thought she wanted to get some action against him, and that's what it was. And now they're playing for money. I don't know. Yeah, go ahead.
But do you think that maybe some part of this is it's what it turned into, and now she can kind of say that's what the goal was?
I don't know. Honestly, in the moment, it felt to me that she was just saying this to get action from him. She thought she was much better than him. She wanted to play him in any format. And I honestly, that's what I thought in the moment. I talked about it with a ton of people because a bunch of people always messaged me saying, dude, what do you think about what's happening with this? Are they going to play? Like, what's your take on this? I'm like, man, I don't fucking know. But it seems like it just seemed like she was just trying to get that action from him. And also she got to be fucking super out of line. So I don't know. It makes sense. It worked.
To me, like, I feel like when I first saw it, I think Mike definitely started it. And I do feel like she wanted to kind of defend herself a bit from those attacks, which is totally fair. I'm not saying that that's not what you should do. I mean, I would do that. You would, like, I mean, that's just what you would do, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, defending
yourself. You've done that before, Doug. Yes.
I've done that before. This is how this goes. But at the same time, I've gotten into so many of these shouting matches, and, like, they just never play. They just don't. I mean, at least that's for me. I mean, I guess when you're Cate Hall, maybe it's a little bit different. But people just like talk shit or whatever. But it's like a lot of posturing, and you want to look good because you want to make it look like they talk this shit and then didn't back it up. So I think it was more along the lines. I could be totally wrong. I mean, I'm not Cate Hall, but I think it was more along the lines of just kind of like protecting your image and like being like, look, man, you're gonna make fun of me. I'm better than you, so you need to either shut the fuck up or play me. Right. And I think when you do that, it's easy to say, like, it's to get the action, but like usually, man, in live poker, like people talk so much shit and then don't play. Like, man, in my point, so many points in my life, especially when I was playing smaller stakes, I'd challenge someone to heads up, or we said we play heads up. And like I'd be like playing 5-10 or 10-20 or something. Like, or I'll play heads up, but only if it's for like $200K.
Right.
And it's like, what? Like, we're playing for like $2,000. Like, no, dude, I will crush you. But you know what? It's just not, I'm playing 10-20, but it's just not worth my time if it's less than $200K. And I'm just like, and then obviously, like, I would be like, okay, well, I don't have $200K. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize like you're that broke. I guess no match then.
Yeah, that's how it used to happen. This is a common thing. I would drop that line on some people too. We were like playing like 1-2 back in the day. They're like, oh, let's play. I'm like, let's play 10-20. Like, oh no, you want to play 1-2? Fuck you. I'm playing 10-20 or nothing. Take your pick, buddy. And then they always say no, and then you feel like the man at that point in time.
And then if they say yes, in my case, if I'm like, all right, you know what, I'll pull some strings. You got some action. They're like, okay, well, I'm busy every single month until next 2019. Ooh, 19 looks bad. 19 looks bad. 2020. Oh my God. Is that the Olympics? Like, it's just like no matter what you do, you just like can't find a match, Yeah. Like, I remember this summer I was talking to Negreanu, and I was like, look, man, like we're talking about Mercier. I was like, look, Mercier, I don't know about his ring 8 game because I have not really played any of that, but I am better than him in 8 game heads up, and I will play him heads up 8 game. Okay. And we've played, I've won, he's quit me, he's not going to play me. And Negreanu says, oh, he'll play you, he just has better things to do. Is he supposed to not do better things to do just to play you? And it's just like, dude, like, I don't understand what your argument is here. Like, I will play, like, let me know. Like, I mean, I don't have much better to do than like play someone at high stakes heads up that's worse than me, So it's just this thing where people just get defensive, or they like say they'll play or whatever. And even when Mercier tweeted that thing at me, and I said like, okay, let's play some heads up mix. He's like, let's cross book in huge tournament fields, And it's just kind of like,
yeah,
it's just stupid. Like, all right, let's play a 1,000-person tournament in cross book. Like, oh, we're really gonna like.
Doug, it's coming, buddy. I can't wait. It's coming. It's coming for you, right? All these people are going to be saying all this stuff. Oh, I bet he won't play me. He's fucking new, and he's a YouTube guy playing this. Oh, I bet he won't play me heads up now. Yeah, now I'm ready for him. He's not going to play. It's coming. you know it's coming. What are you gonna do when it comes? Because it's coming for sure.
You know, it's a tough conversation, because whenever something like that, because I've got a couple people that are interested now, and it's like, man, I would have to drop everything I'm doing to do this shit, you know? Like, I'll still take the good spots, obviously. I'll still pick some evenish matches as well. But like, if like one of like the best people in a different area challenges me, like, all right, Doug, cancel everything, we're playing some heads up. It's like, I have obligations. Like, I have to make videos. I'm not in the fucking heads up lab every night because I'm posting YouTube every day at noon, you know?
Right.
You know I'm not streaming, you know I'm not studying today because I'm on Twitch.
Dust off the dream machine. That's right. Dust off the dream machine. It's Robin. Get back in the streets. That's what you sweeping it off. The dream machine's been cutting dirt on it for the last 1 year straight, man. Yeah.
You know, I guess to answer your question though, Joey, because it is a good question. It's something that I've thought about a lot. I would hope that given my results, both online and live, and given like my approach to the game, and I've tried to like really teach people about the game of poker, I would hope that people realize that I do care about how good at poker I am, and will always be like a student of the game. I'm always going to be trying to improve my play in some capacity, because I do love the game of poker and I want to be good, man. I'm a competitive guy. You know that. I'm a competitive guy. When someone says like,
no, not you, kid.
Like,
you know, come on.
I mean, I understand that these things are probably going to happen, especially as I focus more on building an audience and being more of a promoter and entertainer, whatever you want to call it. But at the same time, I'm still going to do my best to be a good poker player.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to, there's a comment in the chat. I just want to call it the comment. By the way, Kate versus Mike, who you got?
I'm going to go with Cate Hall, right?
I got my girl Kate too. I got my girl Kate, man.
I mean, but the thing is this, if you take a side, Kate vetoed Jared Jaffe as a commentator because he wanted to bet on.
No, she talked about that. Go ahead. Say what you're going to say.
Okay, I'll say what I'm.
All right, you go.
I'll go. So on Twitter, Jared Jaffe, who was going to commentate with me. Jared's a really funny dude. I was looking forward to it. I mean, Deeb will be great too, but Jared's also awesome. And I was looking forward to it, but he tried to bet on Mike on Twitter, or I think it was Twitter.
It was Twitter, yeah.
And then because of that, Kate said she's not willing to do the match with him because he wanted to bet on Mike. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, she talked about that yesterday, and it makes sense. She doesn't want him, but it kind of makes sense and it doesn't. We talked about this with her. She doesn't want him to be impartial. I don't think it'll make him impartial when discussing the actual action taking place. If plays good, he'll probably call plays good. I don't necessarily think it alters the way that he's going to word his commentary on what's happening. But I can also understand, you know, hey, if someone else is available, let's just do someone else. I don't want some fucking guy that's advertising, looking for a bunch of action against me that might have it out and make me look bad to a national audience that's going to be streamed potentially on CBS Sports. I don't want that to happen to me. So I can understand where she's coming from, right? If there's other people that are going to do it, that are willing to do it, that are good to do it, it makes sense to me.
Yeah, I guess I'm thinking about this, and like, let's just say in like an actual sporting event, one of the commentators was betting heavily on one of the teams. That would probably be not cool.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, that'd be. Right? I mean, they probably do. Who knows? I mean, who really knows?
I guess because when I first heard it, I was like, that's like a pretty like. It felt like a kind of weak move, you know, because like, I mean, if I was gonna bet, if someone offered me even money, I would take Kate. You know, I mean, I don't know what the lines are at right now or whatever, but the thing is like. In the world of gambling, I guess it almost feels more acceptable. But maybe when you're commentating an event, you should be neutral.
Right.
So let the record show I have no action on this match.
I can't wait for it to happen. I'm excited. I'm going to check it out. And
you're going to be there?
I mean, maybe. I don't know. When is it? March?
Do you mean check it out like on Twitch or check it out in Philadelphia?
I'm not going to watch the fucking heads up match happen, take place. Heads up, no limit. I mean, no shots at heads up. They said me for commentary. I was like, listen, I do not want to do commentary. I got it. Like, it'd be fun. Me and Doug could talk. I could just set up Doug for 8 hours and make him look like the fucking king of the world with all these questions. I'd be giving you layups. Okay? I'd be throwing you off the backboard, jamming it down. You'd be, Joe, that's a great question. Let me answer that one. And why are you doing this spot? I mean, yeah, listen, it'd be GTA. It'd be funny. It'd be funny. But at the same time, it's also going to be this new tournament player audience. And I don't know if they're quite ready for my, they're, listen,
I tweeted this out. I said, if I do this with someone, I want it to be Jared Jaffe, Sean Deeb, or you. Those are my 3 choices.
Yeah. I don't, the tournament player world, those guys are, but they can't say, they're not going to say nothing to you. What are you going to say? You suck, Doug? You're like, calm down. Like, you're going to do a great job. You've never really done something like this before, though. This is the first time you're going to do actual commentary like this.
Yeah, this is. I mean, I've gone to WSOP in the booth for a little bit. It's a little bit different, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, like this is going to be a first for me. I'm excited, man. Dude, there's a lot of exciting stuff coming up. So I'm going to Pittsburgh next week to check out the bot challenge. I'm going to live at the bike in mid-February. I'm going to this challenge. I'm going to commentate. I'm actually going to play on it as well. It's just like a lot of exciting things going on, kind of all in a stretch of just like a month and a half or so, or 2 months, whatever.
Yeah, it is fun. I'm still torn by this comment because I already know the answer to the question. So Patrick says, Joey, during the EPT live stream in Prague, the commentators made an allegation. You're going to love this, Doug, that Doug paid a large number of money to YouTube so that his videos are in the suggestions. Doug, I know we talk about this a lot. So this is funny. I didn't read the comments for the last 7 minutes, making sure I saved this comment. What's your response? Well, go ahead, Doug. Give him the response on this one.
Obviously not. You can't even do that, can you? You were going to promote it, not suggested.
Exactly. The reason it shows up in your suggested is because you watch his videos. So the more Doug videos you watch, the more they're going to show up in your suggestions. The more you watch poker videos, the more you're going to show up in your suggestions. For Doug's videos, they're viewed heavily. The watch time's high. The retention's high. The way that people interact with the content is very strong. Therefore, those things come into play and their videos are then suggested in the side in that situation because they're popular and people like them. It's not because he paid motherfucking YouTube to do it. Doug doesn't even know someone at YouTube. Go ahead. Right. I mean, that's basically
100% true. My question is, who said that?
I don't know. Who said this commentary? That's right. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's a suggestion. Yeah, you can pay for an advertisement to show up in an ad, but in terms of on the side that says recommended to you, that's not quite how it works.
Well, I absolutely did run ads for my channel as as openers to other videos because I wanted to increase the traffic to my channel, and I wanted to, anytime someone had been to my channel and not subscribed, I wanted to reach out to them to try and get them back into my channel. So, but that's like 100% okay. I'm not paying to get into the sidebar. That's not even a thing.
Yeah. And if you're saying for ads, I mean, okay, listen, hey guys, turns out in business, entrepreneurship, and building a brand, you advertise. Doug, who would have thought that? That's crazy. Wait, that's smart? It's smart to market your product that you create? Is that true?
Apparently, you can do that on the internet. They have these sites called Facebook and YouTube, and you're able to promote yourself.
That's crazy, man. That's insane.
But only for certain people. It's not allowed for everyone.
Okay, you got to pay for that. All right. What Callum says, I think Stapes was talking about ads, not suggested videos.
Oh, ads. Yeah, I had ads.
Yeah. Okay.
But I mean, by a whole bunch of money, do they mean like a couple cents a view, or I don't understand?
Yeah, I don't know.
It sounds like, honestly, man, like this is kind of what it feels like to me, a little bit of like, oh man, they're getting a lot of views and we got to blame something. And you know what? Like the ads obviously helped some, but I stopped doing them because they were so ineffective compared to the channel by itself that I'm not even running ads anymore for the last month or whatever. And it annoyed people and I didn't want to do that. So, I mean, the thing is this, like my YouTube strategy, like I'm playing the game hard, man. I'm like posting whatever frequency per day makes the most sense. I'm figuring out how to boost the algorithm. I'm figuring out how to keep my retention high. I'm figuring out how to put out good content, figuring out how to put in good, funny jokes, figuring out how to like do a nice mix of content, some for the noobs, some for like the more advanced people, a little mix of this, a little mix of that. I'm like playing the game, man. I'm playing to win. I'm not playing to like just make videos for no reason. Like I'm in it to like get the views.
Yeah, you finally got me on the analytical grind, my friend. It took you months of saying, you ever look at your analytics? I'm like, I never looked at that. You're like, those kind of matter for stuff. I'm like, oh, okay. But now I'm all in on the analytic. I love these numbers. There's graphs.
There's graphs.
I've been missing graphs for the last 5 months when I'm working on GTO Club, man. Entrepreneur life.
About 2 or 3 months ago, I asked Joey a series of questions about his analytics. And he's like, I don't know. I was like, what do you mean you don't know? It's on your channel. And then you're like, oh, I never went in that area. I was like, what? Why are you not going that area?
I wasn't thinking of it. I'm just doing the podcast. I just like doing the pod. I have for people on, we just talk. I wasn't really trying to figure out the game. I didn't really know much about the game. You kind of let me know about the game, and then I saw graphs. They have graphs, Doug. It's amazing. You get to track your progress, see your downswing, see your upswing, see your Nanonoko graph.
For a moment, just talk about just like how great graphs are. Like just a graph of anything you do, poker, investing in something, YouTube views, anything you're doing. If you show me a good graph, I will watch it. I will just love it. I love numbers.
I was just saying the other day, I wish there was like a graph for life. I just want to, like, is there a way to put my own graph? Is there like a kind of, I'm working with all the guys. I'm saying I want to see graphs. I don't know what's happening. I need to see a graph of their progress if we can make a graph. And I don't know how to make a life graph for somebody.
Yeah, that might be difficult.
It would be difficult. You're right. I guess, but YouTube obviously going well for you right now, man. The crushing, the videos are up there. They randomly just spurt your video out to the mass on YouTube, and they give you, I don't even know how much they give you. How much they get? Some of those videos have a few 100,000 views now, don't they?
I think my biggest videos are like 250,000. I might have a 300K one in the next couple weeks because it's been growing. But yeah, man, I've been doing like probably closer to like 120K views a day or so now. The channel has been growing a lot.
What's the plan for that? Just keep putting out a lot of content. Keep trying to bring poker to as many people around the world as you can.
Make the game as big as I can. Figure out the best strategies I can. Never sacrifice the quality of the content. Always make sure that it's good stuff and teach you about the game. Yeah.
I love it, man. I love it.
Apparently try and get into like these like sites about Dan Bilzerian, calling him a fraud, apparently.
Yeah, it's really weird that you and Seriously Serious were conspiring to make a video that would then get you listed on all these big major websites, therefore drawing attention and traffic to yourself and the poker community. That was
so
nice
weird.
of you. That was pretty nice of you, man. What else we got here, man? We got a bunch of stuff on here. Let's see. Table talk. Want to talk some table talk? What happened with table talk, man? You want to tell the people? Talk about that. Right. They've been asking, man. They love table talk. I still think we can do table talk like one time. That shows. Well, they love the show, man. They love this. They love the topics. They just love the conversation.
I will accept personal responsibility for the cancellation of table talk because it just was taking too much of my time. I didn't realize when we decided to do it how much of a commitment it was to get the overlay, because those are all individual scene overlays, study the topics, pick the topics, get everything ready to go, and then also do it. This was not just like a fire it up. Like, the pod's awesome. We can fire it up, we can talk about stuff, and that's that, right? You know, it's just, there's no prep. We just jump in, we talk about that because we know what's going on in the world. But you can't do that on a show that's like scripted and, well, not scripted, I mean, but you know what I'm saying, like timed out like that. If it was
scripted, we would have sounded like we knew more stuff, right? Because we're talking about topics that I don't watch the news stuff. I'm not paying attention. I'm getting good at poker. I'm not fucking paying attention to what gossip's happening or what's doing this or the legislation. I'm just learning about legislation because of the table talk. I started learning more about it. So there'd be these topics that we just didn't know fucking anything about. And then we'd have to, you know, we're both doing a lot of stuff. So we have to spend hours and then we still wouldn't really fucking know what's happening. And then people in the chat or people on 2+2 would be like, oh, you guys can really, Joey, you can really prepare more. Doug knows what's, you guys need to fucking study more. Why don't you know more? And it's kind of like, you know, I think, did that impact you? Is that a reason why that?
I also feel like your response to everyone was like totally honest. Like, if it was a subject you didn't know much about, you'd be like, well, I don't know that much about this, but this one thing. And then be like, oh man, Joey just doesn't know what he's doing. Like, man, like he didn't study at all. Whereas like I would try and say things that I did know, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I was like, you know, Doug didn't study much either. Like, he didn't know much. I mean, we both were talking. We didn't know anything about this stuff.
Dude, I mean, let's give ourselves a little credit. We would have like an hour or two where we would go through topics and talk about stuff and like do a little research on ourselves. We did that. But when you're going to talk about like 10 topics or whatever, you got to be prepared, you know? And man, the week with the like Asia thing, the Asia poker thing coming out, I was like, dude, why did we put this in here? You know, why did we even put this in here?
I'm like on my beanbag chair. I'm like reading through Asia. I'm like, I don't understand this. Like, how am I supposed to get? Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. So, but yeah, I think we didn't realize how much time it would take. And I think you're obviously doing a lot of stuff. And also in terms of videos, some people commented the table talk gets a lot more views. I mean, yeah, definitely into my stuff, right? I'm like not playing the YouTube game. You're right. It definitely got a lot more views. And then on your page, that might get 30,000. You might do a hand that gets 90,000. It took you 15 minutes to do that. You don't got to do any work. You just boom, that's it. Then it's out and people love it. So Table Talk for you, it's just a lot smaller audience. For me, I mean, I want to reach that hardcore audience that cares about this stuff, and I want them to care over time and become engaged with it. But at the same time, it just makes a lot of sense.
You know, the thing is like this, I would say for me on my channel, it ended up being like just about the smallest thing that I did in the last month or so. Maybe there's 1 or 2 Poker Hands episodes that kind of bombed. But, you know, the way that I would describe Table Talk is it had like a small but really interested audience of like people involved in the world of poker. And so I get that, and I think that reaching those people is great. But the thing is, the amount of time that it takes to reach those people like that, it just wasn't really I didn't, when we started making the show, I didn't realize it was going to be like that. I didn't realize like how many hours it was going to take to get everything ready to go, you know?
Yeah,
I think I can still reach those people by making occasional videos that are much easier for me to make on my channel, where I talk about stuff in a more casual way that still can, you know, still can reach those same viewers.
No, yeah, I agree. I mean, I think it's almost better. I've been thinking about this a lot. And I think, you know, we saw Jason Somerville do this thing where he basically kind of exploded YouTube poker, Twitch poker. And I feel like that's pretty much exactly what you're doing with YouTube right now. You're taking this to another level, right? You're the guy sort of leading this charge. You're 50,000 subscribers now. Your videos are getting 120,000 views a day. Facebook's growing and growing. You're going to be able to impact and have get reach to so many people, poker players now, semi-casual, recreational, people that don't even know poker exists. So I feel like the path you're on right now, man, it's just
what I really like about YouTube as opposed to Twitch as well. I feel like in Twitch, it's a much more competitive environment in that, like, if someone's going to watch, like, let's say I'm streaming and someone's going to watch Tonka instead of me, that's just directly bad for me, you know? Whereas on Twitch, or sorry, on YouTube, if someone watches a Tonka video, I'm going to be in the sidebar and they might click that. That's just good for me. So, like, you know, what's the saying? A rising tide lifts all boats, or whatever the saying is.
A rising tide lifts all boats. Yes, let's go with this one. A rising tide lifts all boats. Right? Dan Polk, correct. That's something Dan would say, I feel like.
It's gonna be a new meme. But anyway, so the thing is, like, on YouTube, I've been looking at this, and I don't know. You know, I think there's 2 things that are really contributing to the growth of YouTube poker right now. Because if you look at everyone's channel, everyone's going faster than before. Okay, everyone's getting a lot bigger relative to their growth beforehand. And I think it's my channel. I think it's Tonka's on YouTube as well. And then I think it's the rise of the vlog, man.
Those motherfuckers are everywhere. Listen, Doug, no, I got to talk about this. I gotta say, right? I got to say this, okay? I saw a video, okay? The fucking guy, he records himself talking, then he goes to the casino. 3 hands, Doug, 3 hands. That's it, 3 hands. And it had like 50,000 views. I'm like, wait, what? Wait. I'm like, what if I just go in here and I record my like playing and I just like fold 3 hands and I'm like, well, this hand, it's these ideas. This is what people love it. They love it. People play live poker. They love this stuff. It's amazing. It just blows me away.
There is a serious rise right now of the vlog. And I think that the person doing it the best, I think pretty clearly, is Andrew Neeme, or Andrew Neeme. How do you pronounce it? I don't know.
Andrew.
All right, Andrew's vlog. Okay, I think his is pretty clearly the best. I think that Jake Cody does a good job. I think that Trooper, much lower production quality, obviously, but he gets out a lot more of them, so his strategy could be pretty good too. Those are the main guys. I think there's a lot of other guys coming up and coming. I'm not trying to like say some people aren't big or whatever, but I think that's been really good for YouTube poker, man. Like, I'm sure
100% agree.
A ton of subs from being on the sidebar on those guys' videos.
I 100% agree with you that it's been great, but it just sort of blows me away. And also the barrier to entry is so low. You see these guys, they're having these 1-3 video blogs. Basically, the barrier to entry is that you need to be able to play poker, and then you just record it. And if you can edit it, make it look good, then that's your thing. And people obviously on YouTube, they love these video blogs. People love the video. They just love video blogs so much. I don't really watch video blogs. We've talked about this numerous times. I don't watch video blogs. I don't think you watch any video blogs out there too. I'm trying to get it. I'm not trying to but it makes sense. A lot of people out there living vicariously through it. They play live poker as well. So I'm sure their audiences are more American audience as well too. But Yeah, I don't know. What do you think's gonna happen with this? It's gonna keep. I think more and more people are gonna keep doing it.
You know what's gonna start to happen? The card rooms are going, and I had a meeting with somebody here in Vegas because I want to do vlogs myself if I'm allowed to, right? And I want to try to find a way to do it if possible. But before I tweeted that, what's up with these vlogs tweet that everyone just like thinks that I'm like the devil for. Before that, there was already motion in place from some of the major card rooms to make sure to not allow people to do this and to specifically talk to Andrew. So I just want to dispel this weird rumor that I'm like shutting them all down and calling up the casinos and be like, you got to get this guy out of here. Like there's not, I don't know what.
Where did you get this voice? Wait, where did this voice come from? You've been in the lab. Where did you get that voice from? Do that again. That was a good, do that again. Bazam.
I can't do it on command like that. I can't do that on command. But here's the thing.
No, stop. You got to do that. That voice was sick. We're gonna get those.
We're gonna get this guy out of here.
There you go. It's like a cowboy, and from back in the day, they got the cigar and the cowboy hat on and stuff.
Yeah, it's like I had an evil laugh, and I was like, whoa.
Like that. They're like the villain policeman, like the villain in Westworld, like one of those guys that gets shot because he's a bot, and they just like rebuild him.
Straight up good for me. When Andrew has a big video, I just see more views influx because they're clicking on me in the sidebar. So it's just like, it doesn't make sense. And I want to do these if I can. I think realistically, it's going to be a tough sell, man. It's going to be tough to really get one of these card rooms to allow you to do it because, you're filming people gamble. I mean, that's a tough situation.
Right. It's like you go into Bobby's room, you're playing 501k or something. You're like, okay, it's saying I got king, and you're, I don't know. It'd be popular. It'd get a lot of views. It might get 1 million views. Doug, you do something like that. I'm serious. Maybe that's what you got to do.
I just like don't want to move into like gray area. Like I don't have to, man. I can play within the rules and do well. I don't know.
Yeah, listen, more video blogs.
Am I a nit? Am I being a nit? Should I view horror more? I mean,
Wait a second, Doug. We went back to the beginning of this. According to 2+2, as we established, they know everything. You're all about the views. You're doing things for the views. Anything can get you some views. Doug's gonna do it, man.
I really haven't though.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But that's what they think for some reason.
I'm trying to like do as much as I can to get as many people in the door through methods that I think are fair and high quality content, and like not in gray areas at casinos that I would want to play at and stuff.
Yeah, I get it. So video blogs, you think they're coming? You think they're going? You think they're staying? What do you think?
I think people absolutely love them. I think if there's a way for them to kind of become a bigger thing, man, people love them, dude. They love them. They love the video blog.
You know what's crazy? I clicked on one time, and I swear to fucking God, my sidebar was just hundreds. I'm like, how many video blogs are there now? Did everyone start one and I missed it? Like, what was happening here right now? Why I watch one and the hand up here, this guy got 7-5, a raise, and comes 7 high. Now I got it. Second pair, he bets, and I'm gonna call. And he talks to hand. I'm like, what? It's like run it once video. It's like a training strategy video, but it's live. Like, why didn't card runners think about this 8 years ago to do it?
I mean, man, I don't know. I'm telling you though, the big card rooms are gonna shut this shit down. And if you become anyone well known, good luck.
Well, to be determined, my friend. Maybe I should get Andrew on the pod. I don't know, talk about what's happening with that. I think all that stuff's great for poker. I love it. The more pop everybody gets, people talk about competition. I mean, I don't know. I make stuff. I make stuff for me. And I think when it comes to if there's competition, that's fun. That's what makes it fun. If you look at it as competition, it's fun. I don't know. I think more people on YouTube, poker, the better. And it seems like almost to me is that it's sort of shifting a little bit from the Twitch to YouTube. It seems like it's sort of going over to that.
I think that the ceiling on YouTube is way smaller. On Twitch is way smaller. I think that Twitch poker directory is way smaller. People like, Rekful or whatever are grinding, then obviously it becomes way better. But, a lot of the people in Twitch poker right now, they got in through Jason Somerville when he was on the front page of Twitch a lot. And that really grew the directory. That really grew Somerville's stream. And it's unlikely, I think, that anyone really ever catches Somerville in followers. And because of that, it's going to be hard to ever get to his size. Now, I'm not saying that it wouldn't happen, but he had a huge advantage by being the first guy in. And that was smart in his part to realize that this was an opportunity to really capitalize on this new platform. But the thing is, it's going to be hard for Twitch poker to really ever become like a big thing when it's just hard to get people into the directory. Whereas on YouTube, like if it shows up in the sidebar on a related video, and by the way, I think on the vlogs, what's happening is someone goes to a vlog and they see on the sidebar a poker player vlog, they click it and they end up in there. So I think that there's way more potential for poker on YouTube compared to poker on Twitch.
Fuck it, I'm starting to blog. Fuck it.
By the way, Twitch poker, I think will grow. I think it'll continue to grow. I think it's a good thing. I think it's going to help a lot. But I just, like, YouTube's the second largest search engine in the world, guys. Like, it's huge, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. I think I think Twitch is only getting smaller, Twitch poker. I really do. I think it's just going to probably keep getting smaller and smaller for the most part because you got to keep streaming this for years. And that costs money. You lose money. You win money over time. Unless PokerStars comes in, who knows if some of these other guys would still even be streaming poker on Twitch if PokerStars doesn't step in. So if that doesn't happen, I don't think that I don't know. You need to be good. And I don't know. I think the ceiling's capped. You look at Tonka. Tonka's great at poker. He's having a lot of great results. Very popular guy when he comes stream. And I just think that really does matter.
It really does matter
in poker. I think it matters in poker a lot. I do. Long term,
to poker streaming or to poker as a player? To
poker streaming in terms of people watching you consistently for a long time. If you're not getting better, you're not becoming great. If you stream for 2 years and you got fucking worse.
I don't really agree with this.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think it matters much at all, actually. I think what matters is, can you play the higher stakes tournaments? Are you going to play tournaments? And do you put in a shitload of volume? If you take a break-even player and we're going to stream 300 days of Twitch in a year, just really grind it out, and they can play high stakes tournaments, that person in a year of grinding would be top few streamers, maybe top 2. I mean, he probably wouldn't pass Somerville.
Probably lose a lot of fucking money too in the process.
Yeah.
That's kind of the thing. You might lose money.
Dude, honestly, Twitch, shout out to all the streamers. Good luck to everyone streaming full time. I wish you, like, I don't know how you do it. Okay. I really don't. It's hard. And if you try and do it the correct way to be an entertainer, you just can't. I cannot do that every day. It drains me. I feel drained right now, given that I just streamed and I'm here. Okay. I haven't streamed in a month, like over a month.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea of doing that full time, that's going to be your life. You are a Twitch streamer. That's it. And so to be that and good at poker, I mean, I don't know, man, that's really tough. Like, that's a really tough combo. And are you really able to stream and do that full 300 days, 250 days, and do that year after year? Year after year, you're going to continue to do this?
Not going to be able to do it. Nah, dog. Nah, I ain't going to be able to do that, man. Listen, I'm not trying to interact with the Twitch chat 365. Listen, I like you guys in the Twitch chat. Shout out to everybody on Twitch. I like you. Got a lot of love, but taking all that energy into your soul, 365 days a year. That's why you see these fucking video game streamers are so fucking weird. And I like weird people. We got a lot of weird guys here. Shout out to weird. I'm a little fucking weird too. But these guys are extra weird. These guys seem like Rekful, watching him. I like watching him as fuck, you know. I mean, he's so popular. What the fuck? Wait, what? This guy's popping me. You know, shots at him. You know, I'm sure he's like a fucking great guy in his game he plays. But you know, now there's Rekful guys playing poker. I did a PL hand about him. And yeah, what do you think about this Rekful guy coming into Twitch poker?
I mean, it's sweet. I've not got a chance to watch it yet, but it sounds like he's on an OMA heater that's like kind of dying now or something. But the heater's dying, obviously. So yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, it's great for poker to have some other people coming in and doing that. Again, lots of great things happening for poker. But I can't say anything about him specifically because I have not watched the stream. I don't really know much about him.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched a little bit of stream. I got to say, the sample size I watched, he wasn't that bad. He wasn't that bad. Now, sure, the video I did a hand on, questionable play, for sure. But that's the thing about the great game of Pot Limit Omaha is that, I'm sorry, is that you can win. You can still win. You can make some questionable plays, and the equities run so close together that you can still go on a heater.
Which is great for the, it's great. Well, I feel like that's my saying for the day. Everything is just great for the game. Mm-hmm. But really, more people playing and having more chance to win is good for the game. You know, those are good for the game things. Increasing the rake and making it so only people that have studied for a long time can ever win are bad for the game. It's like why chess doesn't have a lot of money getting thrown around.
I mean, listen, I don't know where the chess is $1 billion industry. The chess I know, people pay a lot of money.
Yeah, but they're not gambling on matches in general. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but you know what I'm saying.
That's true. That's definitely true. J-Mo's in the chat. What's up? Let me get some shout out. Hold on. Doug, you want to get some shout outs? You got some shout outs to give?
Let me see here in the chat. Who we got?
Give him a shout out, Doug.
Papi 0F1 in the mix. I don't really see many of my boys in the chat.
Jesus. Okay. It's getting sad. Just give some other shouts to maybe some of you don't introduce yourself. Say what's up.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave the shouts to you, Joey.
Yeah.
You got your shout game's too GTL. I can't get involved.
Hold on, I got this. Who's we got?
Shout out to Vedran. What's up, guys? All right, go, Joey.
Royal Rosario, what's up, Papi? Josh Hayes, Paul Morgan, Harbs, what's up, Papi? Papito, caramosa, caramonacita, Quack Fam, the Machiavelli, what's up? Lauren K, Edward Rostrom, Karames, Alexandro Dulcic, Eric B, Fabio 5, 6 Sniper 12, Derek GMC, Coco 2, Nut Guzzler, Aces Wild 120, Pete, Edward Rostrom, Aloe Gamail, Mr. Patrick Lawrence Essick. And Dan Polk. That's what I got. 608
and Dan Polk. Shout out to Dan Polk for being just awesome.
Yeah, I love Dan Polk. Wow, that was sick. Okay. That was in. I think
I'm not gonna compete with that. You're basically like, hey Doug, give your shout out so I can do like the better version after you. And I'm like, nah, I'm just not gonna. I choose to not be part of this.
No, I wanted to give it to you first. That Megan Soup. Shout out to Megan Soup, by the way. I wanted to let you shout out first. Because then you can't go after that. I mean, what can you do? What
could you even do? Yeah, what could you say?
I think there's a secret to giving a shout out. You gotta feel like I feel it. I just feel it.
You got skills, dog.
Like Jim Dugan, aka German fucking beer. Look at the name, Jim Dugan.
You have been in the shout out game for a lot longer than me. Maybe my day will come.
I think your day's gonna come. Rescue Cheat from Pittsburgh. Cheat said he's like a prisoner, and he's a prisoner in fucking Pittsburgh right now. This is what the bot challenge has done to poor Cheat.
I would say Cheat isn't a prisoner, but I don't want to lie on the pod. So
yeah, he's like a fucking prisoner, man. It's pretty wild, but they're like locking him in the room, like falsifying what the challenge is all about. It's pretty yeah, whatever. Let's not get too much into that. Let me take some questions from the chat. David Huber out there. What's up, Papi? What's going on, man? Great writing for upswingpoker.com. David Huber. Check out his writing. He writes about a bunch of good stuff. Yeah, he does. Shout out to GTO Club. Shout out to me. One Poker Live. Shout out to me. What's up, Poker Awards? You going to Poker Awards in LA?
Oh, yeah. I think I'm going to go. Are you going?
Yeah, I'm going to go. Yeah. We'll probably be nominated for something. We'll probably be nominated for something for against each other. And I think you're going to take it down. So congratulations to you, my friend.
I don't know, man. I got enemies, man. You make friends. I've burned some bridges. I think that might play a role.
I'm a friendly guy. I don't know. I realize.
I'm a friendly guy too.
Yeah. I guess. I don't know. Are you though? Yeah, I feel like you are friendly.
Come on.
You are friendly. I agree. But yeah, I agree. But you take shots at people. Like you called Dan Bilzerian a big fake and a fraud, allegedly.
Oh my God.
According to the Sun.com, Doug, you called Dan Bilzerian this. I just read it on the Sun.com and on Bro Bible.
Don't even.
Not true. Called them that.
Don't even, man.
Yeah, it's quoted in there. So I don't know. What do you think about this Will Kassouf and Will Kassouf heads up match versus Stacey Matheson?
I mean, honestly, it's a best out of 3 $500 sit and go thing. I mean, whatevs. Did you see their videos?
Hello.
On Instagram, do you see those videos?
Doug. I'm calling you out. You want to come play me?
All right, Willie K.
All right, Willie K. You think you can't buy this trophy? You're not going to be able to do it.
I came this close to posting my own Instagram video making fun of them. But the thing is, I think so few people saw those videos, people would just be like, what's Doug doing?
Right. Doug, we need to can we start our campaign, our hashtag campaign?
What's our hashtag?
Can we start I forgot what we were going to use. Remember we were going to do our own fake RaiseIt campaign? I bet we'll get videos submitted to us if we do that.
We got to figure out what it should be. It's got to be our own version of Raise It.
Yeah, like I don't remember what it's supposed to be. Like grind like us, grind or something. I don't know. Grind like us, grind. I don't know what it could be though. It could be something.
Hello?
Are you here?
Hello, internet.
Hello?
All right, I think I'm here. My internet's been on the shaky side lately.
Seriously serious says hashtag fold pre.
Hashtag fold pre would be imagine someone sending in a video of them in some type of way folding pre.
Grind it. Grind it. Grind me. Grind it. Raise it.
Grind me doesn't sound. I think we got to think this over.
Raise it. Yeah. I do like the Raise It promotions though. I like those a lot.
Yeah.
I think they're being money well spent. Dwayne Wade throwing eggs in a frying pan. I like it a lot.
Why not? Honestly, why not?
Yeah. I agree. Guys in the chat, let's get some questions. Get in the lab. Oh, that's a good one. Get in the lab.
Get in the lab. Okay. Yeah, that could be good.
Get in the lab. That one's not bad. Something with lab in it. I like that. Fold pre. Fold pre is gold. Okay. Fold pre is gold. People like that one. Yeah, guys, give me a couple questions in the chat. Let's see what we got in here.
Fold pre could be like a 5-second video clip of someone like walking into the basketball court, and someone else runs up and like slam dunks. And they just like turn around and leave.
Well, I think they've showed that. I think PokerStars has showed it doesn't have to be about poker. We can just do anything, right? It can be like, we can be. What was the one you just said? Get in the lab. It could be like me cooking bacon on the stove and my shirt off or something, and be like, get in the lab, and then I don't know. I don't know. Okay, lab time. Lab time. Get in the lab. Lab time. I don't know. Whatever.
Back to the lab.
Doug Joey, best case scenario, Bilzerian gets pissed and challenges you heads up for rolls.
He's not going to do that. This is what happens. Like, why would he play me heads up? I mean, I'm in, but he has nothing to gain there.
We could gain. Yeah.
What's he gain there?
I don't know.
You're making fun of the Joe Rogan interview?
No, I'm not making fun. I'm not making fun of anything, man. I don't make fun of people. I'm not a big make fun of kind of guy. But so I'm not. I like Dan Bilzerian. He seems like a fun guy. I know people that personally know Dan Bilzerian. They say, he's a good guy. He's not a bad guy, and kind of what he gets portrayed as and here isn't a very accurate representation of who he is. So, I mean, I don't know, man. I've enjoyed listening to him on the Rogan podcast, and I mean, yeah, I don't know. I like everybody, Doug. Come on. You're the guy that sometimes you make some. I don't know. I just like people.
Look,
now.
Joey, here's my stance. I really, even all the people I've made fun of, I have no problem with any of them. It's just when people do stupid shit, I just have to say something about it. I just do. That's like, because it's funny, man. I'm not just going to be like, well, he's awesome, and that guy's also awesome, and the other guy's also awesome, and whoa, the fourth guy is a great poker player, but so are number 1, 2, and 3. They're all awesome and good poker players. Number 5 is really good. Also, he's so good at poker. The 5th guy is a very nice dude, but so are that's everyone in poker. It's so fucking boring. That's one of the reasons why Will Kasuba is popular. It's because it's like, that's not how it should be. If someone does something stupid and says Rake is good for the ecosystem, I'm going to be in the mix with a video, I'm going to do those things. That's just who I am.
I agree. I'm with it, man. I'm with it. Listen, I used to have hatred for people like Phil Hellmuth. I used to hate Phil Hellmuth. I'd be honest with you. I didn't like him. But, I've been in the lab and in the research lab, Doug, and it says having hate for people is not helpful for you, man. And it's not going to make you a happy person. So, I don't know. I just like people, man. I don't know. I like a lot of people, man. Whatever. People are people. People do some weird fucking shit. People get out of line. People call you names. People say things to other people. People fucking suck at poker. I'm not gonna hate somebody for being sucking at poker.
I mean, I have no problem with Hellmuth. I'm not sure why you don't like Hellmuth, but
you know how it feels to be called Dan Polk by the sun.
I do know how it feels.
Yeah, that's how Hellmuth has made me feel before in my life too.
Oh, he said something similar like that.
He gave me the big time Hellmuth treatment one time. Yeah.
Ooh. Mm-hmm. I have a really funny Hellmuth story. I'm not entirely sure if I should say it or not, but I'm gonna say it anyway. So we were at a club. It'll be fine. So we were at a club. I said like in 2009. I was probably 21 years old, and I got into the club with I was hanging out with Jungle Man, and he was with Phil Hellmuth and a couple other people. And Phil Hellmuth was just like totally ignoring me, right? Totally, not even the time of day. And I was standing next to Phil Hellmuth. And one of my other buddies, brilliant play on his part, he walks up and he kind of like goes in between me and Phil Hellmuth and kind of like just like touches us on the shoulders and goes, "Oh my God, are you Doug Polk?" And Phil Hellmuth now like kind of floored because it's not him, right? I'm like, yeah, like I'm playing along with it because it's my buddy. He's like, dude, you're the sickest online. I can't believe you're here right now. And then all of a sudden, Phil Hellmuth was like, "Oh, so what do you play, man?" And started asking me questions. I was like, I cannot believe that kind of worked. You know, kind of worked.
Dare I say, GTO baby? That's what I'm talking about, man. That's some sick shit right there.
Well, here's the thing. Like I've run into Phil Hellmuth. I ran into him in Chicago. It's at that game or whatever. I think he's a nice dude. I have no problem with Phil Hellmuth, and it's also understandable.
Phil is not a nice guy. Come on, stop it.
Why is he not a nice dude?
What are you talking? Phil Hellmuth's a nice guy. Are you fucking? Wait a second. You're gonna take the stance you take on calling people out for doing stupid shit, and now you're gonna say that Phil Hellmuth's a nice guy?
Well, I'm sorry. Maybe I'm not familiar with this. I've seen him in person, not playing poker. He seems like a nice dude. I don't have much interaction with him overall. What am I gonna say?
Get the fuck out of here. A nice guy? What are you talking about? A nice? He wasn't even acknowledging your presence until he thought you were big time. He thought he could talk about you on YouTube or Twitter.
Also, to be totally fair, Joey, if you're one of these big name guys,
what's happening? No, stop it. What's happening right now? You got something in the works with this? What is going on right now? You working with him or something?
Not. Yes, I'm working with Phil Hellmuth. Me and Phil, we're eating burgers together, and you're gonna like it, okay? You're giving
Phil free wait a second. This all adds up. You're giving Phil Hellmuth free publicity on your stream and podcast behind you.
No. Oh, you know what? Actually, is this mafia related?
I think you're in the Poker Central Mafia or something like that. What's happening right now?
This is Zima trying to get you to tell me, talk about Hellmuth, so the pressure's off his back. You are in on it.
Stop it. Listen, I'm not hating on Hellmuth. I'm not hating on Hellmuth, but if you're saying that Phil Hellmuth's a nice guy, listen, I don't hate the guy. He's not a nice guy.
Okay, so look, he's never said anything mean to me in person. When he knew who I was, he's always said, "Hey, I have no problem with Phil Hellmuth." If you're telling me he was a dick to you, all right, I changed my opinion of him a little bit.
Have you seen him on television, Doug? What are you talking about right now?
Playing poker, it's hard to know if that's an act or not.
He called that poor guy from Europe an idiot. An idiot from Northern Europe, Doug. That guy didn't ask for anything. He's just sitting there playing his cards. Making a questionable pre-flop play, sure. Okay.
I'm okay. He can be a dick for sure. I mean, there's been moments where he has been a dick that I can remember. But at the same time, I just have not had any interaction with him where he was like, mean to me. He's always nice to me.
Okay. Well,
you're the guy, and by the way, you're the guy nice to everyone always. I can't be nice to people. I have to call people out now.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, what is this?
Fucking idiot from Northern Europe. I agree.
Also, how awesome is that sentence?
I know, it really is. It's great. I know. The thing is, yeah, I mean, fucking idiot from Northern. I agree. Oh man, I agree. Yeah, let me read some chats here. Hold on a second. Joey preaching. Nope. What did someone say? Somebody said something I want to go read up here. Hold on a second. In a gay club? I don't even know what that's about. They were both at the Cubs game. Oh, in a gay club. That makes sense. Solve says, I would argue you hate people that do not put any effort into something and then complain about the outcome. Is that still GTO? You must know me. That's a pretty good read. I don't hate them. I just, yeah, I don't want to get into that. You're right. I don't love them people though. I don't love people that complain about their outcome and don't put any effort into it. Correct. Yeah, I don't. That's true. Like most break-even poker players on Twitter, they say, "Oh my God, I run so bad. It's fucking, oh my God." I don't. Listen, man.
I think
if you're go ahead, Doug. If you're not in the lab, if you're not in the lab, if you're not working on your game, if you're not putting in effort, if you're not trying to study, talk hands with friends, you should not be complaining about being a losing player on social media if you're not putting in any effort or work at your fucking game, man. Come on.
Honestly,
right, that's what I got. People
that use how bad they run as a crutch will never be good. If you want to tell people about how your kings lost to queens, you're never going to be good. If you're going to always look at the EV and be like, man, I'm the most unlucky. It's so unfair. And I've been there. I went through a bad downswing when I was the break-even small stakes grinder for a bit. if you don't just get over it and try and improve through what's happening, use that adversity. Everything is a challenge. View poker as a challenge.
Exactly.
Try and overcome that, you know? Use that to get better. Don't focus on the I run so bad, because guess what? You could run bad for forever. If you're going to let that be what holds you down, then you're never going to get there. And by the way, if you're playing NL25, you got some fucking work to do. You know, you're not playing GTO-ish type poker. Like, yeah, I use an OTB Red Baron type style. No, you don't. You're playing NL25, okay?
People said that to me. They say that. They go, no, I've been watching OTB and I'm trying to implement it 50 cent dollars. Like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Come on, stop. Like, you stop. No, stop. You're not implementing GTO. You don't watch Phil Galfon's video and you saw him talk about balance from the small blinds. You're using the strategy at 50 cent dollar PLO Zoom. No, it's not quite how it works, man. Yeah, I don't know. I'm fired up, man. I'm fired up, but I'm just saying, like, people complain so much about how unlucky, how they can't win at poker, how about poker, the poker world sucks, everyone in poker's mean, poker world's toxic, all this stuff like that. They complain about their results and how they don't know what they're going to do with themselves, but they're not even putting in a minimal amount of effort outside the table other than playing and fucking complaining about how bad they run on Twitter, 2+2, and Facebook. And it makes sense why people that do win, it makes sense why they win, because they don't have those tendencies and they don't have those type of qualities.
In cash games. In tournaments, it's just whatevs.
It's true. That's true. That's definitely true. And I don't understand. It's very true. Yeah, you're right. We come from like a very, you're right. It's strange walking into the tournament scene. It's strange. It's a strange world.
I agree with you. And I think we're actually, I mean, we came up in the same time, came up through a lot of the same games. I mean, you went to PLO and I went to Heads Up. But like, we've got like a similar-ish background, and we're like the same like kind of generation of like coming up in the game, right? And like those types of values, I feel like we're very like, we always believed in. If you're good, you work hard, you try and get better, you're eventually gonna get there, you know?
Mm-hmm. Definitely, I believe that. I mean, I believe that even when I was, when I'm losing too many buy-ins, you know, if I'm losing 30 buy-ins in a session, I believe that, Doug. So,
I do believe that.
Dude, I'm serious. When I watched your staking video, I was like, God, I hope he doesn't like make some sort of reference to me losing like 35 buy. You need to find that like conversation, that email or something when you staked and I lost 35 buy-ins in a night.
I was the most tilted I had ever been in my entire life. The first day I was tilted. The second day I like didn't even know what to do.
Yeah. I think I still made you money on stake though. Like I definitely made.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, which is incredible, right?
It really is incredible. It is honestly just incredible.
I was thinking back about this. You actually staked me during my 600,000 hand prop bet I did. I remember that. I forgot that was involved, but I'm pretty sure you staked me for either, if it wasn't all the stakes I played during that, because I was playing 50 cent dollar, and then I decided to do the prop bet, and then maybe you just staked me 50 cent dollar, and then I played the other smaller ones on my own. But I know that you were very involved in that prop bet, because I remember we were working before that back in 2008. It's 2008, guys, by the way. It's 9, dude. That's fucking 8 years ago and 2 months ago that first took place. That's crazy.
That is sick.
That's so crazy. I still can't believe people don't know about you.
Not many of us still around, by the way.
What do you say?
Not many people from that era of playing are still around.
I mean, some of that, maybe the high stakes guys like Hollywood Haxton, he's still around, but
yeah, you know what I mean.
Right. There's not many guys that we came up with. A lot of those guys playing a little bit DFS now. I don't even know. I don't know.
We used to post on the small stakes full ring forum. That was the thing. We posted every day in there.
Yeah, I posted literally every day in small stakes full ring, micro stakes full ring, small stakes full ring, and then yeah, it was always the goal to get to the high stakes forums. That was like the big goal back in the day, wasn't it? To get to the high stakes, be one of the guys posted in the high stakes community, be respected for your ability, and yeah, I mean, you guys don't even understand. Doug, I don't know if Doug's talked about this in depth. I'm sure he has, but Doug did this prop bet, and we talked about this numerous times. But you were streaming on Justin TV in 2008 in like June. You were playing 14 hours a day trying to make 400 buy-ins at 10 cent, 25 cent full ring. One of the most ridiculous fucking things that somebody could do at the time. 400 buy-ins in 1 month at NL25 full ring, which is just 24 tabling. I think you were 24-6. I can't remember how many tables.
Yeah, that's what you were.
But such a ridiculous, really.
I mean, ridiculous. It was too ambitious. I lost. I didn't make it.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't make it. It happens. But you still.
You know what? You know what the thing about that was, given the rake back, given the winnings, given I had side bet as well, I was getting like pretty good odds. Given like the money I was getting paid to promote it. Like if I didn't make it, I broke even, and if I won it, I was gonna have $100K month as a small stakes player. So I was like, you know what? Get some publicity, and like on top of it, like if I win this, it's gonna be huge for me. And my bankroll was like, I don't know, 50, 60, 70K. I don't know. It wasn't a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I would like triple my bankroll or double my bankroll or whatever if I pulled it off. So it was a no-brainer, man. Like I lost and still broke even.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely sick. I was thinking about this. I have the biggest winning day of 10 cent, 25 cent in the history of the game.
How many buy-ins did you win?
Well, I did my prop at 50,000 hands a day. I made 42 buy-ins at the tables, and I made $33,000 from the prop bet. So I technically made $33,800 in one day at 10 cent, 25. That's the biggest winning day in the history of the game.
Clearly. Clearly, not even close.
It is. I made $30,000. Anybody else made $30,000 a day? What a fucking hustle that was. Thinking back on that, by the way. You believe these motherfuckers? I played 600,000 hands the year before. They're like, we're gonna bet even more money that you can't do this and win a profit.
I can't believe you got that action, actually.
Well, I think it was because I had to make a profit. So people were like, oh, I was 24 tabling and like slightly winning at 50 cent dollar, and they're like, oh, you can't do it. You're not gonna be able to do this 50,000 hands in a day, 24 hours straight. You're not gonna be able to do it. I'm like, okay. I didn't know I could do it. Honestly, I didn't know if I could do it as well, but I just assumed I could. It's 10 cent, 25 cent. I was playing small stakes at the time.
It was a good take on your part. It was a very, very well executed challenge.
You know, I love these prop bets. I feel like, you know, Doug, and I think the importance of prop bets are vastly underrated, because when you can do something that not only pushes you to the extreme, it pushes you and challenges you to do something that, I mean, in that situation, no one ever did it before. When you're able to achieve something that you don't even think it's possible for you to do, that gives you so much self-confidence and belief moving forward that you feel like you can do almost anything. That's the definition of self-confidence, of true belief.
I really think that one thing that a lot of people in just life, something that a lot of people lack, is that they're afraid to fail. They're afraid to take on something ambitious, give it your best, and fail. And like I failed, and I lost. You know, that's not like what I'm going to be remembered by. But I took that on and I failed. But like in poker, so many times I failed, and I just used that to work harder and try again next time. And I always tried to challenge myself to reach like the best I could become, to be the best poker player I could be. And it's okay to fail. I think a lot of people just get too scared that they're going to fail, or it's not going to work out, or they're going to take this risk and they just want what's safe. That's not the way you should live your life. You should really strive to try and be great. I
agree. I mean, I work with people at GTO Club. This is kind of stuff we talk about all the time. And it's so cliche. A lot of people hear you say it and they're like, all right, fucking we know, yada, yada, yada. But yeah, I mean, right. I agree. It's hard. It's hard. No one wants to fail. No one wants to not succeed. No one wants to do something that fucks that you suck at, that fucks up. People look at you, they laugh at you, or they say this about you, say that about you, call you a bad reg, say you're this, say you're that. It just happens. I get it. It's tough. Yeah. It's tough to overcome that. So let me
we got to wrap this up. I got a couple things I got to get to.
All right, kid.
Been a couple hours.
Joe, talk about Rekful's 40K downswing today. Well, I'm happy that I wasn't playing. That's for sure. So, but yeah, anything else? Any parting words, Doug? What do you got to call? Give him a CTA. Where are you going to call him to, Doug? Call him somewhere.
I guess I'm just going to say that if you've not checked out Upswing Poker, head over there and check out. The lab has gotten a lot better in the last 3 to 5 months. It's just continuing to get better. And next month, I'm doing a module on overbetting. I know there's a lot of people that enjoy overbetting, want to hear more about it. So that seems like something you'd be interested in. You should check it out at upswingpoker.com.
Also putting up the poker hands, poker hands on your YouTube channel, youtube.com/Doug Polk, correct?
Correct.
All right, I'm putting up the PLO hands. I put up PLO hands on my YouTube channel. Also have the Cate Hall podcast yesterday. Got Kevin Martin coming up sometime soon, probably next week. And that's it. I don't know. I don't got anything else. Doug, Twitter, Doug Polk, Twitter. You probably follow both on Twitter.
Everything. I moved my poker tip of the day over to Snapchat, WCG Rider. If you like, if
your poker tips of the day, by the way, pretty good. Like I think 10 seconds. You fit in fucking 10 seconds. But you did talk about one about folding the river or something, and I'm like, I don't know how people are gonna actually like take that information and do something with it. But
I just try and put like a good tip into 10 seconds.
It's pretty good. But oh yeah, I forgot. I have to write a 40,000 word book by the end of the month. I haven't started yet, but I'm gonna stream it on Twitch. I'm gonna write it in one day.
Good luck.
I can do. I guarantee. I want it to. I'll bet.
I'm not gonna bet. I'm not betting against you. I'm
Okay.
not betting against you.
Okay, I'm gonna do it I'm gonna let people read the book as I write it.
Good
It's
luck.
gonna be about it's about the mindset and the differences between a small stakes and a high stakes player, and how all those sort of ideas, concept, and qualities incorporate it with my own life and my own poker play. And that'll be out at the end of this month. I'll be selling it, and it's gonna be the best poker strategy book ever written in the motherfucking game. And I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be the best. This is gonna be the best strategy book ever written.
Let's see it then, man. Let's see what you got.
Listen, setting the bar high, baby. Let's go.
All
Let's
right.
give ourselves a challenge. All right, that's it. Much love. Adios, guys. Be back soon. Peace.
Peace.